Good evening, and welcome to tonight's game of London's Burning. As always, we start with a warning. This is an RP game. It is designed with personal horror. I don't know what that was. Let me start again. This is an RP game. It is designed with personal horror and drama in mind. Characters in the stream may be referred to in ways that we would never refer to them in real life. Vampire Masquerade deals with many social aspects people face in the current modern world. They are meant to elicit emotional responses in the viewers and characters, but it is only set in-game and does not reflect our actual views or outlook on the world. All people are welcome, but please be warned that we will deal with aspects that some may consider offensive and are not meant to be taken out of context of the game itself. We like drama, but only in-game. We do not want drama outside of the game. Welcome to the Chronicle London's Burning, a story set in the city of Oxford about a group of vampires, a kindred society, reeling from the exodus and loss of London. Tonight, we are joined by Isaac, of the Hakata family of Clan Cappadocian, portrayed by Nosgavian. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Gain hunger. The Anarch Gangrel Ricky, portrayed by Tavi. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Wonderful. The Camarilla Toreador Rhapsody, portrayed by Groundhog. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Gain a hunger. The Anarch Brujar Xavier Long, portrayed by Tina. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. As usual, you gain a hunger. And last but not least, Camarilla Brujar Armon, portrayed by Nitra Taipat. Please do a rouse check to awaken from your torpor slumber. Wonderful. We start this week in the Hakata family domain. The family are having their usual meeting, with Isaac attending to represent the interests of Clan Cappadocian. The family heads take turns giving their reports before finally the head of the family turns to face Isaac. He looks at him and says through his cold, dark eyes, "Isaac, what news have you?"
Yes, we have had some. It's been quite eventful the last few weeks. I have spoken with Camarilla representative Pandora, and she has graciously accepted and approved our request to move into the home we scouted out, and she's stated that she will be pushing forward our request for Elysium status for our presence in that location.
Excellent. We shall begin to gather staff. Perhaps some ghouls that are already loyal to the family will suffice for the most part. The place shall be an excellent resource, and perhaps lower the guard of other clans in Oxford, allowing us to harvest much needed information and more.
Indeed, I'm quite excited for the property, especially being as spiritually active as it is. I'm sure that'll be quite useful to our family.
Indeed. Much practice to be had, experiences to be gained, knowledge, gossip, information. Much needed resources. Is there anything else you wish to report?
I believe I've already informed you of the recent changes to the primogen of the Camarilla, and yes, I believe that brings us up to date on most of the recent events. Most of the recent events of importance, at least.
Excellent. Isaac, the family are true to their word. Your vessel soon approaches a critical time. As such, we think it best to have someone from our ranks perform the ritual to assist you. As you know, life costs life. We have already found several suitable candidates to assist with the casting. I shall myself perform the ritual once we have been able to acquire the sacrifice. For now, Merely be prepared. We shall call upon you nearer the time.
Isaac would get down on a knee and just kind of like bow his head. Thank you. It's much appreciated. I've been working hard, and the ritual's still just beyond my ability. I greatly appreciate your assistance in this matter. You know how important she is to me.
Of course, your extended family is our extended family. Everything will work out for the better. Don't worry, Brother Isaac.
Thank you. Just let me know anything I need to do, any cost I need to pay. Anything is worth it to save her, to make sure she's okay.
Excellent. It shall require a very high cost, but as long as you're willing to pay it, everything should go according to the plan.
No life is worth more than Annie's life. She has to be saved at all costs.
Don't worry, Isaac. Annie will be okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it greatly.
The head of the family takes his attention away from Isaac and carries the meeting on. Brings us to the current day. The Coterie have been summoned to Elysium. Having been summoned there by Pandora, they arrive somewhat later than they usually do, and have met together at a table to discuss matters of great importance to them. Thorn, one of the constable's deputies, is watching over the place, standing there, akin to a corpse. Peeler, the constable himself, is walking around Elysium. Kulal is sat at a table by himself, slowly sipping a glass of vitae, watching the proceedings. A table of Nosferatu, with back at the head, talk in whispers to each other, and Pandora is sat in her usual booth.
Coterie's all sitting together, but not with Pandora.
Great.
Well, Pandora did send us a letter that said that she wanted to talk to us, so do you want to head over, or?
I could care less. I believe the letter said that there was something being announced that we should be in attendance for, not that she cared to talk to us.
Yeah. That's fair.
But feel free. We are her pets, at least.
Does anyone want a drink while we're here?
I'm good, Isaac. Thank you.
That would be nice, thanks, Isaac.
I would take one, Isaac, yeah.
Very well.
I would enjoy one as well, Isaac.
Alright, so that's Rhapsody, Ricky, and Xavier, right?
And yourself.
Oh, yes, of course. That's a given.
And I'm on?
No, I'm
He
good,
said
but
he was...
you seem like you're gonna have a handful, so I'll go up and help.
Oh, much appreciated. I thought I was gonna have to ask for a tray or something. So Isaac would get up and go to the bar. I'd like some glasses for Ricky, Rhapsody, Xavier, and myself, please.
I assume that they're kindred, so that's what, 5?
4, I believe.
4.
I don't care about their names. Just tell me how many you want.
4 glasses, please.
Right. The bartender reaches under the bar, pulls out 4 tumblers, fills each one with a very suspicious-looking red liquid.
Isaac would go back with 2 glasses, and he'd hand a glass. And he'd hand a glass to Rhapsody and Ricky. here you go.
I'll sit one
Enjoy.
down in Isaac's empty spot and then one in front of Xavier.
Ricky takes her drink gratefully, nods to Isaac. Thank you very much, Isaac. And begins to drink.
Of course. Isaac would drink his glass. How is your night treating everyone?
All right. Been laying low since last week. Glances to Xavier. If anything comes up and Pandora asks anything, let you take the lead.
Fuck do you do that I need to speak up for you for?
I meant more for the coterie, but all right.
Oh, okay. Sorry, you made it sound like you fucked up and you needed me to cover for you.
No, Xavier. Last week.
What?
Remember?
Yeah, it's real convenient for her to go in and attack that guy and then skip out on this week. But sure.
All I was asking was if Pandora brings it up, would you like me to remain quiet and leave it to you to take the lead? 'Cause, you know.
I don't.
All right.
I don't. Let's just play it by ear.
I
She
think
knows
she's
what
saying
happened. I
that
told her last week.
with Cedra not being here, she's usually our talker. So Ricky's
No,
just
I
trying
get
to figure out
what
the
she's
pecking
saying.
order.
But in all fairness, Isaac talks a lot too. He seems to be very knowledgeable. Nobody here is the speaker for our group, so let's just play it by ear. I have no problem telling the truth if we need to. It is what it is.
All
We
right.
didn't kill that guy.
Understood. I just need to say something about making sure we keep things straight. And Ricky returns to drinking her glass.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate he chose to kill himself, but there's little we can do about that. We just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time to witness it. It could have been anyone.
Yeah, it just so happened.
I don't think that wrong place at the wrong time thing applies to us. We intentionally put ourselves there.
Yeah, to be fair,
To be fair,
Clarette made it sound like he was some big hunter out there, which I guess would have made the hidden cyanide pill make sense, but judging from what he had, he wasn't, so I don't quite understand why his first reaction was to take himself out.
to your point, we might have bigger issues than sneaking into that guy's house, and more so why we were working with an Anarch.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is I'm not really concerned about him, I'm concerned about why.
It's quite obvious that Clarette has used us as some sort of cat's paw to attack the Camarilla Tremere. I agree with Xavier. We mostly need to worry about
That's our
The
first. Mark
Tremere.
it down.
the usurpers. They
So-
may try something.
Just to be clear, because I didn't understand this before, Clarette is Anarch Tremere, and what was his name? Etheldred is Camarilla.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Understood.
Although I don't think Clarette was openly Anarch or Camarilla. When she first showed up, she said that she was looking for who to hang out with.
They had an
Ah.
idea, and the Camarilla
Yeah.
aren't so welcoming sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, lest us not forget, we did find a site that pointed to the twins being involved in something. It had a map, remember?
Twins?
Yeah.
So, Etheldred and Aaron Dread.
Ah, alright.
So this could be deeper than what we think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Quite possibly could point to we've been communicating with the Ripper.
That's true, yeah.
Well, that's a dark possibility.
Just with a slight chuckle, Amon just goes, wouldn't be the first time.
He's right.
From what you've told me about the clans, Isaac, and what we've dealt with, I take it these sort of games are normal among the Tremere.
Just the Tremere?
Oh, you make a fair point, Xavier. Still.
Machiavellian. Yeah. Machiavellian politics is rife amongst kindred, but the Tremere are the worst.
At this point, Black Rose slowly descends the iron staircase into Elysium,
God.
followed by Bjorn of Clan Tremere. They walk into the middle of the floor. Black Rose, standing next to Bjorn, steps one step forward and begins to speak. But before she says anything, Bjorn grabs her by the shoulder and says, "Shut up, girl. Know your place." Black Rose looks slightly shocked, humps, and leaves Elysium insulted. Bjorn begins to speak, his words projected through the Elysium. Some of you may not be aware, but thanks to one of the Camarilla's up-and-coming coteries, and he gestures towards Pandora, it has come to our attention that the Anarch Tremere of Oxford have been flagrantly breaching the masquerade, kidnapping kine and the occasional kindred. Recently, one of our own, Dr. Boyer, intercepted an Anarch Tremere dispatched to terminate a member of the Nosferatu clan, who was in turn to meet with a representative of the Banu Hakim. Since that time, Dr. Boyer has gone missing. We fear he has become captive of the upstart Tremere Anarchs. In addition to that, word has reached us that one of the ghouls that was being regularly experimented upon by the Anarchs has been found dead by his own hand. He was one of ours, and he was instructed to kill himself should he risk being taken by the Anarch Tremere. As such, we can only assume that the Anarchs came for him, and he did what was expected of him. These insults can no longer go unpunished. We shall not tolerate such insolence from the Anarch Tremere. As of this moment, we are officially in an overt war with the Anarch Tremere. This is for now to be considered an internal affair, for the time being. We aim to track down and rescue our lost brother, and so confident are we in victory, that we present to you his coterie, a new cane modelled on his old one, though slightly modified to be a bit more robust. Just don't let him go hitting any other kindred with it this time. And Bjorn walks over to your coterie and presents you with a brand new spanking cane. That's a brand new cane, not brand spanking. Thank you all for your attention. Walk with honour and victory. Bjorn turns and walks out of Elysium.
I'll take
Just
the
a
cake.
little retroactive roleplay while that speech is going on. Seeing Black Rose get insulted, Amon will cross his arms like, ha. And then as soon as he starts mentioning the ghoul that died at his own hands, Amon just sinks into his chair a little bit.
Ricky
Yeah,
likewise has gone from choking as she sees what happens with Black Rose, and very carefully not meeting Black Rose's eyes, to doing as Amon, sinking down, to going bolt up straight in her pretense of trying to show as much of an image of respect to Buren as she possibly can, while having that look of, I want to go, I don't want to be here. And she is stuck in place.
Xavier looks annoyed.
Repsteed is just sort of smiling.
Wait till you find out why.
Isaac would as well be quite happy with seeing Bjorn put the upstart Tremere in her place.
You mean
So-
upstart
Venture.
Venture?
Upstart Venture.
I'm confused. This is out loud to the coterie. If the doctor was the one to he dispatched somebody that was going after Harry, or he went after Harry because there was only one body.
He was dispatched. He was following somebody that was dispatched to take care of Harry. That's why we found
Okay.
the broken cane, because he attacked the
Ricky
person.
looks between Amon and Xavier, and is still standing there. Bjorn quickly stands up, walks over to him, bows very low, and says, "We thank you gratefully for this gift, sir," and accepts the cane.
Oh, I said I took it, but you can do that. It's fine. That sounds
Oh.
better than what I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real.
So,
I look at him on. I say, "Yeah, real fucking convenient. The doctor's out doing his own shit again, and here we are, caught up in it."
Well, to his credit, they did say he was missing. But at this
He
point,
was
we don't
missing?
know.
Is
or
he?
he is missing now.
Yeah, he is missing. We
Real
don't
shame
know.
his
If
plan
it's-
has lost him twice now.
Yeah, he probably went chasing the person that killed Harry and got stuck in a trap or something.
yes,
my other issues with this is kind of went on his own to talk to those Anarch Tremere too. Again, all on his own. The
What
doctor
were you gonna
doing
say,
his own
Isaac?
thing.
Bjorn is still standing there.
Bjorn's gone.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Isaac?
Xavier doesn't care.
Ricky sinks back down to her seat again.
yes, I mean, we don't know if he's missing of his own accord or if he's been captured. Depending on which, definitely. If he's missing on his own accord, that's certainly an
Can
issue.
we be very clear on the fact that if he is missing, not on his own accord, it's only because of his own accord? He puts himself in situations that allows this to happen.
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
I get
Go ahead.
I get your point, Isaac, but the doctor wouldn't go anywhere without for a long period of time without letting the Tremere Chantry know where he was. So if they don't know where he is, he's not missing of his own accord. He may have been caused by his own accord, but
He sneaks around. This is why he got banned from his own library. Don't get me wrong. I commend the guy for trying to protect the Nosferatu. But he should have said something to us too.
It's partially my fault he got banned from his own library. But aside, yeah,
Well,
you are
I mean, is
right.
it though?
He did invite me. Had he not invited me,
Like
I
he
wouldn't
should
have
have.
been
As we found out
to-
later on, we were not supposed to be there, and he didn't tell us that.
to
Oh,
decay that individual.
I'm just
you
there's
melted the
always
guy,
something
but
else about
You-
what he does. You're a good guy, Isaac. I get what you're
yeah,
saying.
Isaac, you melted him, but you weren't supposed to be there.
Melted.
True,
Oh.
true.
Yeah, that was when we found out who he really was. Death.
But to Xavier's point, he shouldn't have been running around alone without any of us knowing.
Okay, Google.
As they're
Yeah, I mean,
talking, Ricky listens for a while, then moves to collect any of the glasses that are empty. Gets up, kind of taps Rhapsody on the shoulder on her way up, and says, "Maybe we should say hi to Pandora." And then heads over to the bar to return the glasses first.
Got it.
Yes, he shouldn't have been running around on his own. And if he did want to do some investigation on his own, he should have told us ahead of time, so we knew what to expect and be in a position to help him should he need it. That's the issue.
Look, I'm not saying we're his parents. Everybody here can go do what they want. The point was, when you're being sneaky and you're not a sneaky person, you're kind of dumb, right? You don't see me and Amon walking into a library looking for books. We don't fit in.
To be a little bit more specific, yeah, the doctor can go off by himself when he wants. He just picks the wrong times to do so.
And then it conversely, here we are. Hi, we're cleaning up his bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Like, could he have gone and interviewed that guy by himself? Yeah, but he brought us. Should he have gone after the guy who was going after the Nosferatu by himself? No, but he did.
It's this is typical Tremere politics, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But we should go speak with Pandora. Maybe she'll have some insight on the Anarch individuals who attacked the Camarilla Mere Ghoul, as you would say.
I in my head to Cedra, since we branded, I'd just say apparently we're the...
You don't have that brand anymore.
Yeah, you healed.
It would have healed
before the game.
Or this night.
Okay, so this is why I was hoping you would have answered before. I had the brand before. I had one superficial damage. I did it again. She said, I think that goes away. I kept that superficial and then added another superficial for the new brand. I still have one superficial damage.
You still slept, Your body has been reset to whatever state it was when you were embraced.
It only lasts for the night you brand.
You're right.
No matter if you heal or not.
I know!
You're supposed to know this, Miss Hart. Don't be a smartass.
The guy who created it can't be a smartass. Noted.
While they're still talking, Ricky comes back, glances at Rhapsody, just kind of says, "Shall we go check on Pandora while they're discussing this?" And tilts her head in Pandora's direction.
Rhapsody gets up, walks over to Pandora with Ricky.
Pandora sees Rhapsody, gives her a smile, stands. Rhapsody, my darling, would you care to join me?
Yes, both me and Ricky would. Could we please have a seat?
Please.
Ricky gives a bow. Thank you, ma'am. And takes a seat with Rhapsody, since Rhapsody already asked for both of them.
Pandora gives you a small nod.
Also takes a seat, gives a bow and takes a seat. I'd like to congratulate you on spinning things in a productive way. Thank you for that.
I'm not entirely sure I know what you mean.
But that was an interesting announcement at the very least now, wasn't it?
It seems that Tremere are going to war with the Tremere. Such a unique and original idea.
You mean the Tremere weren't already at war with the Tremere? Just by being Tremere?
Exactly. They have the taste for intricate politics, but they don't have the elegance to perform it very well.
Clearly. It'd be so much easier if they did.
But still, they are a valued ally to the Camarilla, at least.
Every clan has their uses, obviously.
Indeed.
But I guess we need to get on finding the doctor again.
If I were you, I would leave that for now in the hands of the Tremere. It seems they want to keep this an internal affair. Don't stick your nose in to Tremere internal affairs. You'll only have it turned into a frog or something by them.
That would make
Sounds
sense.
like wise advice to me.
Yeah.
Your young friend is learning, Rhapsody.
She is a quick learner. It
Ricky
seems.
bows a little. I am very grateful for the opportunity to do so.
You've proved that you're capable. Proved that you're an asset, and you might be approached to join the Ivory Tower at some point. Proved to be a problem, and you'll be left out to dry with the Anarchs.
Ricky winces a little and then bows her head. I understand, ma'am.
Is there anything else I can help you with, Rhapsody?
Not that I can think of at the moment. As always, it's great to be in your presence.
And the pleasure is mine, I assure you, Rhapsody. You might want to think about getting changed out of those high heels and into something more practical, though, these modern nights. With the Tremere being at war, you might need to be able to make a quick escape, and they're not exactly built for quick escapes.
I will do so.
But you do look great in them.
Oh, shush, you always look amazing.
I know.
But I guess it's time for us to beg our leave. Thank you so much for having us.
Please take care.
Madam Pandora, it's
Yes.
only a minor piece of information. Earlier, we had asked you about Ixion. Cedro and Amon were able to learn. It's unfortunately very unexciting information, but would you care to know as well?
I believe that this is information that should you share it with certain people, that you might be killed for it. I would therefore keep it as best to yourself as you can.
My apologies, and thank you very much so for the advice, ma'am.
But Mithras has ears, eyes, and contacts everywhere.
Understood.
He is a god, after all.
Anyway, thank you again. Rhapsody will stand up, push in the chair, and give us a slight bow and head off.
Take care as you fuck off.
Thank you for your time, ma'am. And Ricky will also stand and push in her chair just the same way as Rhapsody before fucking off. And they would walk back to the coterie, I think.
Oh, Ricky, Rhapsody, how did your chat with Pandora go?
There was little to discuss.
Mostly, it seems the Tremere wish to see to the matter of the doctor themselves, and she more or less advised us to... Rhapsody, would you say she advised us to steer clear of the war?
Yes, we should steer clear of the war for now. It's an internal Tremere affair.
So she basically just said what Buren said and then said, hey, stay away from the thing you already don't want to fucking be involved in?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well,
I
at least we
just
got
pointed
official
Xavier,
permission
like,
from
yep.
our coterie sort of handler to just stay clear and fuck off from it.
I suppose...
Go ahead.
I suppose in the meantime, is there any way for us to continue pursuing the Ripper? That would seem to be our priority.
Define pursue. You have a follow-up on? You got a lead you want to follow up on? Or has there been a new Ripper case? Okay,
I don't. I'm sorry.
We follow up on the Ripper when the Ripper allows us to. Now, don't get me wrong. If anybody's got any ideas or leads, let's follow them up. This is getting annoying.
would Clarette be part of this war we're supposed to stay away from? Because her
Probably.
using us leaves me wanting to return that favor.
I agree with the sentiment, Isaac, but also, yes, I would think that would be part of the war to stay away from. If she shows up on our doorstep, however, Ricky shrugs.
Look, we can all sit here and be naive about this, but we can't avoid this. I don't care what Pandora says. You know damn well Buren or somebody is going to come to us and ask for help finding the doctor, and we're obligated to do so because it's part of our coterie. If we didn't, we'd be stupid not to. He's been there with us. He knows secrets.
Oh, of course. But we scarcely have to involve ourselves directly until that such time happens. Whether or not it does not, whether or not it's likely or not, it doesn't matter at all.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree, but we'll agree to disagree there.
Well, whichever way, I think we've been warned against overt involvement with Clarette. That, luckily, we were not blamed for.
Well, it was the Anarchs, wasn't it?
I think
what's that supposed to be?
Tremere. Isaac would know.
The Anarch Tremere, not Anarch Bruja.
Okay. Yeah, but you generalized instead of being specific about a very section of the Anarch.
Well, we are talking about the Tremere here, not about the Bruja.
Sure, but we are also talking about kindred. When this all started and I called Pandora, it was, oh shit, you broke into somebody's house that was a ghoul of the Tremere. This is horrible.
Xavier? I'm sorry, we're still at Elysium, maybe not here.
Everybody here knows what happened.
Everyone at this table knows what happened.
I look around. Who is in Elysium right now?
Lal, Thorn, Peeler, and a table's worth of Nosferatu, including Back, who have very good hearing.
Yeah. Fremogen, they know.
Would we be better to continue this at our own domain?
I don't
It would
think...
be much better for us
I'd
to
rather
do this at our
assume
own
that
domain.
they don't know.
I'm glad you all have a really good idea now, after God said something.
Ricky grumbles a bit. Gets up. All right, let's go meet back at the domain if there's nothing else going on here. Unless, is there something else we need to do?
We
No,
can
not really.
go back to our domain. We just need to make sure to steer clear of those Anarch Tremere involved in Bjorn's business.
I don't think that will be difficult between here and the domain. Isaac, I came in Rhapsody's sports car tonight, just so you know.
Ah, very well. Looks like I will be riding with you, Amon.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
See you all at the domain?
Yeah. And as the two of them leave, I'll turn to Isaac and Xavier and just say, I'll meet you guys outside. I just gotta do something real quick. And I will walk over to Kalal's table.
Ricky begins to make her way out.
I will do a slight bow. And I will say, Brother Kalal, may I please take a seat?
Please, Brother Armand. What troubles you this night?
No troubles, just slight information I'd like to inform you about. As you know already, a member of our coteries seem to have discovered a war started by the Anarch Tremere that the Camarilla Tremere now want to take care of, but considering our Coterie member has disappeared, I have a feeling that they will soon be coming to our Coterie to deal with said problem. And I just wanted to inform you that other than, I guess, the Seneschal, this will be probably one of the bigger feats of Cedra and I enacting the justice on masquerade breaches. So I'm quite excited to have Cedra come back once she is done from her departure this night.
The absence of Cedra is always sad, given how much of a great asset she is to the Banu Hakim and the Camarilla as a whole. When one of our wayward children is absent, we are less of a whole than before. However, she also has to maintain her own mortal mask.
Right.
Lest, of course, the masquerade be breached.
Of course.
When it comes to the Tremere, be very careful. They have a history with us, and we with them. They were quick to curse us before we joined the Ivory Tower. A curse that has been lifted at great cost to all of us. But the Tremere is still manipulative. But we are also still strong, if not stronger than before. Do not be dragged into a war needlessly. There is no honor or justice in that.
I know. I do not wish to prolong any fighting between the Camarilla and Anarch, because I know that that could go south quickly. But this wouldn't be... I wasn't around...
The Anarchs are based in the south of the city.
Of course. I was not part of the Coterie at the time, but this is not the first time this Tremere Coterie member has gone missing of his own volition. So the Tremere, the aspects of the Tremere that you speak about does not surprise me at all. And I will be happy to deal with what I'm tasked.
The Tremere are a manipulative, slimy bunch. It makes no matter if they wear colours of the Ivory Tower, or colours of Anarchs, or colours of House Kana. There is only one thing that Tremere are truly interested in, and that's Tremere.
I've met members of both sides, and I completely agree.
As for your friend, your missing Coterie member, it might stain his own honor if you were to go looking for him. Not only that, but at least one side of the Tremere would try and drag you into their own war and their petty squabbles. I won't stop you, but you would be not receiving any aid from the clan proper.
I understand. Like I said, I only look forward to doing what I'm asked to. I'm not seeking any type of further engagement. If they ask us to find our code.
It's not always the same thing as justice. Remember that, Armand.
I know. But I believe that my coterie is heading back to our domain to discuss our frustrations with said coterie member a bit further. So, if I may, take my leave.
Before you go, I believe it is important for you to know that your coterie member who is missing was defending, or at least trying to defend, the Nosferatu contacted was going to make contact with us.
Yes, I do know.
Interesting maneuver. What was in it for
Yeah.
him, I do not know.
Yeah, we're trying to suss out that information as well. Because this Coterie member has a tendency to do stuff like this on his own without telling us about it. So that is probably why he was captured in the first place. So you can understand our slight frustration.
An interesting perspective. We are grateful for his assistance on the matter and the attempt to defend
Yes.
contact. It's a surprisingly honourable move on his part. If we are
No,
asked to help with the rescue of him, we would gladly put down one of our lives in exchange for his.
Exactly. I completely agree. But as you said, I don't know if you've met Dr. Bowie or not, or had brief interaction with him, but him doing something so honorable does seem very out of character for him, which does cause slight curiosity out of our group. And like I said, our only frustration is that he acted alone without telling the rest of us.
Trying to learn the motivations of a Tremere is like trying to learn the motivations of a bird.
That's a good way of putting it.
I shan't keep you from your coterie any longer.
You have a wonderful night, and I stand up and I bow.
Walk with honor and justice.
Yes, brother. And I will leave.
You leave Elysium. Generic member of the crowd, faces so generic that he's practically faceless, hands you all your weapons, and you're heading each into a car. Rhapsody, Ricky, in a particularly jaunty little sports car. Is there anything you wish to discuss on the journey?
I don't start a conversation, but I have a feeling
Rick.
Xavier and Isaac will do something.
Ricky.
I was muted. I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Xavier, Isaac, and Armand, what would you like to discuss on your journey?
I think unless someone stops him, I think Isaac's gonna sit shotgun to Amon. And he'll try to put some
I wouldn't say
tunes
anything. I'd sigh loudly, but I'd let you.
Okay. Tonight is gonna be a good night.
Is it? We just found out that we're gonna have to go rescue the stranded princess again.
Yes, but luckily, that Tremere ghoul was assaulted by Tremere Anarch Tremeres. Tonight is going to be a good night.
True. It does feel nice not being blamed for something that wasn't our fault.
Indeed. Isaac would just enjoy the music and the ride.
If Xavier doesn't say anything, then I think we're done.
Oh, I thought of something Ricky and Rhapsody would talk about.
Meanwhile, in
So-
Ricky and Rhapsody's car.
Ricky, as she drives, just half glances at Rhapsody, then back at the road. Did
Rhapsody would be
Hen-
driving because it's her car.
Oh, Rhapsody would be driving. So, Ricky is sitting with her arms crossed, thinking hard. Did Pandora just actually suggest I might join the Camarilla?
Vaguely, yeah, but it's a very much vaguely if you play your cards right at the right time sort of thing.
Well, I guess it's different at least than being called a pet. I'll decide how I feel about that later. I take it you
Yeah.
don't think anything of it yet?
It's someone vaguely saying something. It's nothing of note at the moment.
Alright, makes sense. Just very unexpected. And
Yeah, yeah, it
Rhapsody,
is.
do you think I overstep?
What do you mean?
Sometimes I've been getting frustrated and I just do things.
Frustration is useful. I
Alright.
don't think you overstep at this point, but I scarcely am the person to ask about these matters.
Nah, I suppose that's fair enough.
I think
Alright.
you'd probably want to ask Xavier more. You can get a straight answer out of him.
I'm not sure he wants to hear it. He probably doesn't. Oh well. Let's see what else tonight brings.
Well, it already brought a little bit of disappointment, but hilarity as well.
Oh, oh yes, I almost forgot. Poor Rose. But
She's an intolerable whelp.
it is quite amusing to hear you refer to anyone that way, Rhapsody.
It's such a disappointment. I wish she would have come over so we could have round two. But seriously,
Maybe.
she's trying to become the harpy when
Mhm.
she can barely put up with a no-name Toreador insulting her, and will just leave instead of talking back. And yeah,
Ricky tilts her head. Well, Pandora doesn't. What do you mean by no name? Pandora doesn't think.
I'm a Toreador, but I scarcely have made a name, have I?
I
I'm
suppose
part of the Coterie, but no one knew of me beforehand, so
true. Well,
I am of
I'm glad
no
to.
importance.
I'm glad to know your name at least.
I'm glad to know you as well.
Alright. Let's see what other madness tonight brings. I'm sure something will happen.
Bound to. It's this coterie.
Don't we know it?
Rotary, drive up, and park in their domain. The recent construction work is finally completed. Dolores is upstairs, enjoying her newly made room. First time she's ever had her own personal space. Behind the bar, working for the busy crowd, is Mo, who told Cedra as she entered that when she has time, no, it's not Cedra, obviously, Ricky, love my own typos, who told Ricky as she entered that when she has time, Mo has some information for her.
This is Mo saying this?
It would be.
Where's Mo?
It's a good question.
Ricky will nod back to Mo. I was like, I think I have some time now. Shall we? And she tilts her head back towards the office.
Can I just out of character real quick talk about how much I appreciate that picture above the bed?
It's Mo!
I have obtained some information that I know Xavier has asked me to bring information to you before as soon as I acquire it.
Well, alright. Shall we all meet you back in the office then?
That would probably be best.
Alright. I'll see you there. And Ricky waits for the others and just kind of gestures back towards the office when they get there before heading that way herself.
Knowing that the downstairs
Xavier.
is empty, Amon goes immediately down there as soon as he enters the bar.
Xavier looks at Ricky and says, and turns to walk towards the stairs to go downstairs.
Ricky tilts her head and then goes, "Oh," and then follows Xavier down.
Everybody's so used to the office being upstairs.
Isaac would follow down the stairs as well.
Okay, Mo goes down to the office.
Follow.
So I have learned through my various sources, we'll call it, the French woman you've been dealing with, Clarette, has left town.
Ooh.
Oh.
You
Well-
don't say.
However, I have acquired the address she was staying at. And through experience, anyone that leaves town as quickly as she has couldn't have covered all their tracks.
I'm considering how not well she covered her tracks last week. I'm not surprised.
I, for one, would certainly want to get as much information on Clarette, if that is her name, we can. I do not like being used as a cat's paw, especially unwillingly.
Oh shit, don't make Isaac angry, apparently.
Ricky leans back up against the wall with her arms folded and a rather dour look on her face. I'll help all of you out with whatever, you know that, but I would worry this could be another trap.
And also other information. You have had some kind of dealings with someone by the name of Monique.
That's who Clarette was looking for. We've never found her yet, though.
Yeah, through the network, that person does not exist.
Ooh, big surprise there.
Ricky just
Yeah.
kind of face palms at this point, just shakes her head.
I kind of tone down the sarcasm and I look at Mo and I go, thank you for telling us, or confirming, but
That's what I said last week, that I doubted Monique was even real. I just wish we would have figured it out months ago. Isaac would
Well,
kind of like drop
you
his
never-
foot against the ground, irritated.
You never thought to ask. I could have always checked the network.
true.
Plus, also one
will
more piece of information for you. Apparently,
Yes,
apparently, some representatives of the ministry have been scoping out and snooping around Anarch territory.
out of character real quick, the ministry is the
Follow the
set,
set.
right? Follow, okay, yeah. No?
Wait, what?
They're like aren't they the opposite of the cult
We'll
that
get
they
to
all
that.
just joined? Okay.
Okay.
I'm confused.
But I think they're the bad cult.
Ricky looks to Mo. New kindred girl question. What's the ministry?
Thank you.
I would
Okay.
answer, but I don't think I know now.
She asked Mo.
Yeah, out of character here. Yeah, Mo would probably know this, but I actually don't.
I would probably
Mo know that?
imply that there's someone upstairs who has the answer to that.
Ah. She does seem to know her stuff.
Someone upstairs?
Dolores. I blanked on her name for some reason.
Oh. Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
But-
she's immortal and not even Gould, but she was pretty deep in kindred society for most of her life, so she knows a lot more than a lot of us do.
Well, color me intrigued.
Yeah.
I suppose we'll have
So-
to talk to Dolores in a bit.
So that's all the information I have at this point. I will keep checking with my various contacts, and also the address that Clarette was staying at, 15A Lockhart Crescent.
Well,
It's something you may want to check out.
yeah, definitely. Anything to figure out what this Clarette person wanted with us. I mean, you can kind of guess what she wanted with us, but still not happy about it.
Mo, have you heard anything about the doctor?
No, I haven't heard anything about Dr. Bow yet. At the next opportunity, I could try checking through contacts or the network, see if he's been in contact with anyone.
Don't worry about it. I'm sure the Tremere have already gotten ahead of you on that. They made it pretty clear that they were looking for him. Just
That was
curious.
15 Lockhart Drive, Mo?
Crescent.
Lockhart Crescent.
Yep, 15A Lockhart Crescent.
Thank you very much.
It's in
Oh, yeah,
the
shit.
drive.
Well,
I think we should let you back. Let you get back to your job.
All right, and Mo will head back up to the bar.
and as he walks up the stairs, send Dolores down when you get up there.
Very well. So Mo will go up to Dolores and tell her that they wish to see her.
Okay. So Dolores, after a short moment, is there anything you want to discuss amongst yourselves while you wait for Dolores?
After Mo leaves, Ricky just raises a hand and says, I vote we leave Clarette the fuck alone, but I'll go with the Coterie, whatever you guys do.
She kind of used us. We could at least figure out why.
I mean, I totally agree with that sentiment. I just...
And we won't be going after her. We'll just be collecting information.
True.
It would be us summing up what shit we got into.
I think
And
we're
Rick
missing a
mentioned
point
how-
here. A Malkavian just came down and gave us a piece of information that we didn't request. It's probably pretty important. As much as I hate those fucking people, they don't just do that willy-nilly. This isn't us just going, you guys want to go check out Clarette? She seems shady. No, this was, hey, this is shady as fuck. This is bigger than you are. We need to go check it out.
I mean, that too. I was already agreeing with going anyway, so I kind of left
Alright.
that part or that sentiment out.
I would like to introduce Clarette to Monique.
But Monique isn't real.
Yeah,
I-
you
I-
mean
Precisely. Isaac would smile, showing his teeth.
But hold on, Isaac, you're the one that's always talking about how even in death you still exist, so I love where your head's at. I do. But by your own logic, it doesn't make sense.
Let's introduce them to Maria.
I'm working.
There you go.
That's what I thought.
Like
he was
I
going
said,
with his old age. He forgot.
Yeah, that's like I said. Love where your head's at.
Amon, I'm working on being able to do what I just said, though it is beyond my ability.
Well, I mean, keep those thoughts in mind, but also remember that we have not formally been asked to get involved with Clarette yet.
And I was just thinking it did sound as though we were supposed to stay away from the Tremere War, but I'm the new girl. I'll follow your lead. I'll even pick the lock.
I
We
completely
shouldn't
agree
get
with Xavier. We're not gonna openly get involved, but Xavier clearly stated that knowing that it's the doctor involved, the Tremere are gonna have difficulties of some kind, and they're gonna need somebody with more than their expertise can deal with. And then they're gonna call us.
I'm losing the point here. Like, a guy we have working for us that we obviously trust because he's working for us comes in with information that we didn't ask for, and one of us is kind of like, yeah, it's still just not something we need to be involved in. But I feel like if Pandora had been like, hey, this lady left town, you probably want to check it out, you'd be all for it. So
Xavier, I already conceded the point to you.
Yeah, Xavier, you kind of
but the thing is,
lost there.
My problem, no, this goes further. I feel like if we're debating this now, and if she doesn't want to do it now, it's going to come up later on.
Xavier, we're not talking about going to her apartment. We're talking about anything we do after that. Whether we go and try and pursue her and get involved with the war. We totally agree that we're going to go to her apartment because there's something there that why would Mo tell us?
You're missing the point. I'll revisit this when it happens again because it inevitably will.
Okay, shrugs.
Okay.
Shall we go?
Dolores will be here in a moment.
Because, like you said, important information from a Malkavian, but none of us seem to know what the ministry is, so might as well inform ourselves.
A man, wearing somewhat formal but fairly older style clothing, slowly comes down the stairs. Introduces himself and says, "My name is Dr. Michael Benson. A person named Dolores said I should come down here to meet with Isaac and Armand."
Yes, please.
You must be the monk she was talking about.
How close is he to us?
I mean, he's near enough that he's in the room.
Can I use Sense the Beast on him?
Yeah, you don't need to roll for that. That would be an automatic success. And you don't sense any kind of beast in him.
Okay.
Ricky would probably do the same, but otherwise is just remaining silent against the wall with her eyebrows raised.
Dolores has referred to me as a monk before.
Okay.
I mean, we were going to ask Dolores a few questions because we thought she had the information we needed, but may I ask how
I'm only able to talk with Armand and Isaac, really.
And then I just point at Xavier.
What?
He's only going to talk to you.
Why?
I mean, I'm happy
Because-
to talk to all of you, but I believe that Armand and Isaac would be particularly invested in the information I have.
I look at Isaac confused. I look at Amon. I shake my head. I look back at Isaac like, apparently we have something in common. Go on, Dolores. What is it?
Dr. whatever, not Dolores.
Oh,
I say exactly that out loud because I'm frustrated that he won't talk to me.
So first of all, good evening to you both.
good evening. How was your room?
I was instructed to contact you on behalf of Mr. V. Griffin.
Ah.
I am an Egyptologist and an expert on different matters related to such things. Before we proceed, do you have any tea? I'm rather parched. It's been so hot lately.
Ricky raises a hand and says, I can go fetch some. What sort would you like, sir?
Just milk and sugar, please.
Ricky makes
I'll come and help you.
Ricky makes a quick glance around to see if a setup for tea was placed in the downstairs room or not. She hasn't
It's
been
Britain.
here before.
Yes, absolutely.
I was gonna
So
say.
Ricky walks over to the tea tray or whatever the heck it is and just prepares the gentleman his tea and quietly brings it over.
Thank you, my dear.
As soon as the guy mentions Vish Griffin, he waits for the whole tea thing, and then or Amon waits for the whole tea thing. But he kind of like puts himself between Xavier and the guy, and goes. Dolores gets a little bit confused between me and his names because apparently we look similar. I don't know. If you're being sent by Mr. Griffin, I'm the correct Amon you want to talk to.
You're the only fucking Amon. Xavier
But
will
you
walk
know
over and sit in
Dolores.
another chair. Cross his legs.
Could we move this conversation into the lounge?
Are we in the office? We're downstairs. Like,
But he just means into the bar
We're
that's
downstairs in the private room.
Let's just keep
There's
it in the
nobody down here.
office.
I don't think it matters, Isaac. But Mr. Doctor,
Very well, the doctor wanted to speak to you and I.
The information I
Doctor,
have is
yeah.
relevant to all of you, but in particular, yourself and Armand, as fellow disciples of Mithras.
Ricky leans back up against the wall with a smile and just nods and says, I'm always interested to hear about history, at least.
Ah, good. I am well versed in the Church of Set, and also a disciple of the Mithraic mysteries. The Church of Set are anathema to Mithras and his teachings. Where we seek order and justice, the Order of Set is keen to sow chaos. I am here to warn you that, first of all, the Church of Set are looking to make roots here in Oxford within Anarch territory. Now, while there is a supposed schism between the Ministry and the Church of Set, indeed the Church of Set refers to members of the Ministry as heretics, there is still cause for concern. Elsewhere, the two groups will likely bring their holy war here, and with it, their grudge against Mithras.
Cool.
Where they will choose yet is not known, and hard to predict given their penchant for chaos after all. The Church of Set believe that they become stronger by liberating themselves from rules and their humanity. Of course, more often than not, this leads to the creation of kindred, fully embraced by their inner monster, without any kind of control. It is their belief that only the strong will survive such liberation, and that the weak will perish. One of the reasons the Church of Set has grown so strong is its appeal to a kindred's base nature. While they preach to destroy the worst of those desires in a bitter storm of chaos, quite an appealing thing to a creature that has grown stagnant for many years. But of course, the Church of Set is a lie. As I mentioned earlier, the Ministry and the Church are not exactly allies, and while it is the Ministry that make up the bulk of the clan, there will be no doubt infiltrators on and from both sides. The Ministry styles itself as a clan of faith, that faith being whatever the local clan leader finds to be the most effective, be it Catholic saints, Vishnu, or something else entirely. The Ministry then brings these followers to the ways of Set slowly. Ministers within the Ministry will spread terrible lies about supposed abuses of power the Church of Set commits. Likewise, the Church of Set takes in Ministry survivors who have been subjected to the exact same abuses. In this way, they have a symbiotic relationship, where one manipulates and abuses its followers, the other picks up those chewed out and applies their own abuses and forms of manipulation. Perhaps it is a never-ending cycle, perhaps it is some kind of stylized war, or maybe a little bit of both. Despite the Ministry being an almost wholly Anarch clan, they are keen to rule over the movement, rather than convert them. This is a great contrast to the teachings of Set and the biggest disagreement between the Ministry as a whole and the Church of Set as an entity. The Ministry are usually seen, rightly, may I add, as infiltrators and warmongers, for which the Camarilla come down on them particularly hard for, which, in turn, allows the Ministry to gain more support from the Anarchs. The Church, however, is far more dangerous in their approach. They usually remain distant from any kind of direct interference, believing itself above sectarian wars. They have been known to call their own version of a blood hunt on Ministry members who pursue such doctrines, pounding them down and putting them on trial. They call this contending. Though this is just a farce trial, for show, rather than a place for the accused to defend themselves. The accused will always have the option, of course, to repent their ways and join the Church of Set, or as the Church see it, be welcomed back to the flock. In this way, they make themselves out to be merciful to wayward members, but of course, it is just more manipulation and lies. The Church of Set and the Ministry have a shared history to a point, but these knights, they are two different entities. They share some members, they even share some ideals, but they are philosophically and structurally different. The Church of Set regard the Ministry as insignificant and wayward children at best. The Ministry are known to be loud and prefer overt masquerade breaching action, which of course threatens to bring down the ire of the entire Second Inquisition on everyone around them. At least, this is what we have been led to believe. It is also entirely possible the schism is just a facade that allows the Church to continue its own practices and aims, while all the attention from the Camarilla and the Second Inquisition is brought down on the Ministry, which would make the Ministry itself just an illusion, designed to take the brunt of any offence put against it. We are dealing with a clan of serpents after all, and treachery is traditionally associated with snakes. It has been decided, Amon, Isaac, and I believe you have at least one other companion within the Mithraic Mysterium. You will be investigating the Church of Set on behalf of the Mithraic Mysteries. We will have a contact within the Ministry soon enough, who shall put in touch with you and assist you as much as she can. Despite not being a member of the Camarilla and a steadfast Anarch, she is sensible enough to see a threat that could lead to the Second Inquisition wiping us out.
Amon will kind of cross his arms a little bit and go, are we allowed to know who this contact is ahead of time?
Not yet. She will make herself known to you, very obviously. She will be available to your entire coterie, as you should make use of all and every assets available to you.
Well,
You see, I hadn't known that. I always assumed the followers of Set and the Ministry were interchangeable, but it seems it's quite a bit more complex and convoluted than that. It's
There were
most
nights
interesting.
This was true. When they were regarded as the followers of Set themselves. But since they've restylized and rebranded, the schism exists. I myself will be staying in
Indeed.
Oxford, should you need me for anything.
Is there any
Likewise, of
particular
course.
way we are supposed to get in contact with you?
Do you have one of these marvelous inventions called a telephone?
Yes, we do.
Excellent. I imagine the place I stay at will have the same. They're quite common these days, you know.
Gotcha.
Do you know in my day, it used to be done through Morse code? But now we can
Fascinating.
speak to each other. Wonderful invention.
They still use Morse code.
Wait till you hear
Not
about
over the
internet.
telephone, they don't, Xavier.
Ricky reaches into her bag for a notebook and just looks up to the coterie first. Shall I provide him with the bar's number to reach? Which numbers do we have? Or one of our numbers?
We'll figure it out, Ricky. It's fine.
All right.
Isaac
I
would pour
assume-
his. Go ahead.
Before you leave, Doctor, just give your information to Dolores, and she'll probably tell us.
Very well. Is there anything else you wish to ask of me before I take my leave?
Well, I know you're going to give your information to Dolores, but just in case, can I get your phone number? I'll pass it along as well.
I'm afraid I don't know the phone number of the place I'll be staying at yet. I haven't yet found a suitable room. I was looking at the
Oh.
Randolph Hotel. That seems nice. Are you familiar with it?
Yes, I believe so.
That's the one that the masquerade ball was at, right? Out of character? Yeah, okay. Yes, very familiar.
I believe eventually we'll have holdings there that I should be able to take advantage of.
That makes sense. Well,
Okay, let's get it.
I can't think of anything, Doctor, but I really appreciate this information.
You're most
I think we all do.
Very well then.
Jokingly, I
way,
just go, even that guy,
Isaac.
and I point back at Xavier.
Love your suit. We must exchange tailors one day.
Thank you. I do prefer to wear a decent suit. It certainly helps.
Very modern design on it too. I should really get into the practice of doing the same myself, but one gets stuck in one's ways.
Indeed.
Oh.
This suit is in an American cut. It's quite different than traditional cuts.
An American suit. Exotic.
Indeed. Isaac would lean in. It has padding in the shoulders to make me look a bit more youthful.
That's very interesting. How do they do that?
I believe it's probably put in place before they sew the suit up or something of the sort. I'm not a tailor. I don't know.
Amazing what they can do these days, isn't it? Amazing.
Amon shakes his head and walks out of the office.
Earlier when Amon and Ricky used Sense the Beast, he has no beast.
Correct.
Before he leaves, Ricky says, I did have one question. What did you say your name again was, sir?
Dr. Michael Benson.
Pleasure to meet you, Dr. Benson. My name is Ricky. Do forgive me for asking. I'm newer to, shall we say, the ways of the night. You seem very well educated in the ways of our kind, yet normally, if another is a kindred, I can sense it, yet you do not seem to be?
Of course I'm not a kindred. I've been serving the cult of Mithras for about 100 years now, as a loyal ghoul.
Ah. Thank you for the explanation. I'm just trying to learn new things. I apologize for asking.
You have an entirely new world to explore now that the shroud has been lifted from your eyes. Well then, I shall take my leave. Thank you for the tea, my dear.
You're very welcome, sir. Have a good night.
And you.
And thank you for your time, Dr. Benson.
To the pip.
Amon's just out in the downstairs bar by himself, like sitting in a booth. He does a little salute as the doctor walks by.
And at this juncture, it seems like a good point for a break. So we'll be back in 10-15 minutes. We pick up where we left off, with the Coterie back in their haven. Dr. Benson having left, having dropped an enormous and inordinate amount of information on the entire Coterie, and a mission for Isaac, Armon, and the sadly absent Cedra.
Amon's still kind of hanging out in the empty bar downstairs. I know that it's a kind of a fancy looking bar, but it's still a bar. I assume that there's like a dartboard up on the wall somewhere.
Probably.
I'm sitting in the booth as far away from the dartboard as I can physically sit, and I'm throwing darts at it. Waiting for somebody, like whoever wants to talk, to just start talking. And I'm doing it like supernatural throwing because it's like across the bar.
How close is the dartboard to the door?
I take it you're doing that in the lower...
Lounge.
Downstairs. Yeah, the empty bar, yeah. No, I know better. I wouldn't do that upstairs.
I think Isaac would stroll in. He'd probably, depending on the angle, he might step in front of Amon. If he'd have to go out of his way to do that, he wouldn't. But then he'd be like, Amon, that was quite a lot of information the good Dr. Benson gave us, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of information. Another war we just learned about in the same day, and like mid-sentence I'll just go heads up. And if you duck out of the way, I'll throw another dart.
Oh yeah, I'd step to the side. You've got quite good aim there.
Yeah, it comes with the territory, you might say.
Ricky's still leaning back up against the wall, reaches up with her arms or fingers interlocked, gives herself a stretch, and just says, "All right, so I suppose we're investigating that house?"
I'd say so. Like we established, it's gotta be important.
Do we want to, should we have a plan before we go in?
I can knock on the door, and if no one answers, we can force our way in.
Isaac, there's something.
We
No, I like
the
Isaac's
area.
approach on this actually. Yeah. And then when we go in, we'll check the kitchen out, the living room, bedroom if there's one there. If there's not one there, then we won't do that.
All right, we'll just go in and Ricky just kind of tosses her hands up.
We had
Breaking
a
into
really good
Also-
idea the other day, but we're breaking into somebody's house we've never been into, so it's kind of hard to plan.
I mean, this Ricky kind of turns her head back and forth. Kind of, sort of used to be something I did when I was kind of a kid.
Well,
That's
I mean, for just a heads up, it's probably going to be in the neighborhood, so survey and don't be too loud before we go in, because
Back
the last
entrance.
time you guys went into a house that we weren't expecting to break into, we kind of got the cops called on us because we were a bit loud.
Check for cameras, look for a back entrance, have Isaac check for an unpleasantness, and
It's true.
We're gonna.
We are
Last time
dealing
we
with a
just broke into
Tremere.
somebody's house, they killed themselves. The cops didn't come.
No, the last time we snuck into that house. The last time we broke into a house, you kicked the door down on an empty house.
Okay, it's both. They're both breaking and entering. I got what you're saying, though. You're talking about actually breaking.
This was an anarch, wasn't it?
No.
No. The person whose house we're breaking into.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So
I
it's gonna
mean-
be an anarch territory. That's gonna be fun. Oh well.
I mean, they're as much as an anarch, I guess, as you saying the Zemitzi are, because they don't do things Camarilla do. Sure, but just because
Well,
she
that guy-
said she was anarch doesn't mean she was.
It's more that we'll be going into anarch territory. That's all I was saying.
And going back to
Are we
the
though?
breaking and entering thing, even if we aren't kicking down the door, even if we do knock, remember that if you knock loud enough, you wake neighbors up because it's the middle of the night. And if they
I
see
do
no one
remember that.
answer the door, they're still going to call the cops on us.
I will make sure to knock gingerly.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Isaac.
Rhapsody, if it's in anarch territory, don't worry about it. The sweepers don't come around. They don't swing their dicks around like the Scourge does.
Ricky
Okay.
just groans and pinches her nose at the dick reference.
You hear another thud of a dart going into the dartboard.
All right, so scope out. Isaac's going to knock on the door. I suggest we not crowd the place like we did last time and just let Isaac go up and knock on the door alone, see what happens, and when he gets back, we'll try and find a back way in. If you like, I do volunteer to try my hand at picking the lock. It's been over 10 years? Nah, maybe only like 7. I could use the practice.
Sounds like quite a good plan. Let's get to it.
All right. I'll, she looks over to Rhapsody. We'll, park up the street.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ricky nods, stretches, and cracks out her knuckles again, and starts to head out of the bar and towards the car.
You hear one last thud from the dartboard. Shiver, I know I'm not rolling, but how accurate are my throws? Like average? Really good?
Amazeballs.
Shite.
'Cause if it's-
You miss every single one. In fact, you're such a shite shot. At some point, somehow you break the laws of physics and land a dart in the middle of your fucking forehead for asking me that.
Well, it's because I wanted to do something as I left.
That's what you get for asking the storyteller.
Take 15 superficial damage.
I go into torpor.
Xavier claps his hand together and rubs them. My turn.
I wake up with Xavier like giving me blood. Ah, shit. Well, then I guess I just leave regularly.
Heaven forbid.
I was RPing, Mr. RP,
You're
RP,
running orders to
RP.
this fancy new bar. You get to walk upstairs, and all these people are like, "This place is great," or "This place sucks." Start your stuff through there.
The occasional
I
person
know.
looking at Armand going, "Has he got a dart in his head?" Separate cars then?
Yep.
Mhm.
So, Rhapsody and Ricky get in their flash little sports car. Well, Rhapsody's flash little sports car and drive off. Come on, Xavier and Isaac get in Armand's vehicle and proceed on their way too. Is there anything anyone wishes to discuss on the journey?
Ricky,
Hmm?
look in the glove box. I don't know where this address is. There should be a set of maps in the glove box for Oxford. Could you please direct me?
Of course. Ricky opens up the glove box, pops out the map, and being at from Oxford, quickly finds the address and directs Rhapsody.
Is there anywhere that's good to park around there?
Let's see. Should Ricky make like a streetwise roll to see what she knows about the area?
Just for parking?
No, I think. Are there any businesses in the area other than just it's like a
Complete residential area.
nice residential area, yards, picket
I didn't
fences?
say
the whole
nice.
nine yards?
It's a
Okay.
residential area.
But I mean,
It's not nice.
single family homes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not saying anything particular, Rhapsody. Just pull on by, let me glance at it, and just kind of park up the street like you're attending someone's party or something.
Okay.
That's nice enough.
Sounds like a good plan. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Ricky will take a glance to see if she can spot like cameras or stuff as they drive by. When they
Come
get there.
back to that. Xavier, Isaac, and Armand, anything you wish to discuss on your journey? No? Okie dokie.
No.
So, Ricky and Rhapsody arrive first. Outside Lockhart Crescent. The street lamps illuminate the area, very dimly, and few houses still have their lights on. 15A stands at the end of a row, with another house starting a new row just around the corner, separated only by a wooden fence. The lights are out inside 15A, and the curtains are drawn.
Are any of the more immediate next door houses the ones with the lights on?
Immediate next door? No.
How close are the ones with the lights on?
It's just the odd one here and there, one across the street, one probably 5-6 doors down.
Can I just glance around, make sure nobody's looking out any windows or anything?
Certainly. That would be wits and awareness, difficulty 2, please.
Wait, hold on. That's because I got the 2 10s. If I re-rolled that 1 10, what would it turn into? It just wouldn't
Depending
be
on
critical.
what you roll. Nothing. You can get rid of a messy critical.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. How do we roll?
Hey,
How do we roll the?
I was just gonna.
four?
Oh yeah, I can reroll the 4 too. I was just gonna reroll the 10. Because I think either way I would have gotten enough successes. I just want to get rid of the messy. Oh, that's fine. I still get 2 successes. I was about to say, gosh dang it.
No, you're fine. You look around. You don't notice any immediate curtain twitches or anything like that. It's one of those sorts of neighborhoods where you can get away with a fair bit of, even screaming down the street. As long as you're not specifically asking for any help kind of thing, no one's going to give a rat's ass.
I just put my hands in my pockets and go, oh, well, this seems kind of easy to do in this area.
And if
I don't
memory
think we'll be
serves,
having any troubles.
Ricky wanted to check around for CCTV cameras.
Cameras, any just signs of activity like Amon was, and maybe if she spots if there might be like a back way, which I'm starting to suspect there's not.
Would you like to do?
Wits awareness?
No, I mean, like, out of those 3 things, which one would you like to do first?
Let's look for cameras first.
All right. That's going to be wits and awareness at difficulty 2, please.
While she's rolling, is the house we're going to the white one on the end or the brown one in between?
White one on the end. And Ricky looks around for CCTV cameras.
Oh, I never...
She does spot the odd one here and there. None of them are specifically looking at them or the house, but they do look like the kind of cameras that could turn and be used if they end up creating too much of a ruckus.
Ricky looks over at Rhapsody. There's a few cameras, none where we're going, but yeah, let's just, keep it quiet.
So, like I said, let's keep everything quiet, I say as I walk by them towards the house.
Xavier goes, Amon.
Yeah.
A little rough coming from you after last week.
I know. You know that last week wasn't entirely my fault.
Of course, but I mean, don't act like you're the big bad sneaky guy. I walk up and punch you on the shoulder. I activate what is it called? Silence of Death.
Okay. I was like, what are you doing to me?
As I walk
Ricky
up.
I'm going to use Sense the Unseen just to see if I see anything odd with the building.
Do a roll for me, please.
As soon as
It's
Xavier's
Whitson-
footsteps...
Is it Whitson Auspex?
It depends on what you're doing. It can be resolving in discipline or wits and discipline.
It's going to be wits and discipline.
Yep.
Difficulty, let's call it 2, please.
As soon as Xavier's footsteps stop making noises, I just go, God, I need to learn how to do that.
So, Isaac, you look around, willing the blood into your eyes and your mind. You don't see anything stand out in particular, though you do spend an extra careful amount of time staring at the mud before realizing it's just a pile of mud. You look up at the building, and you see a faint, glowing aura. Very faint. Nothing in particular that seems like a ritual cast or anything like that, but a previous presence of blood magic, though nothing that makes your senses aware of a trap or anything like that. Just a previous presence that was there before.
I would turn to the Coterie and say in a low voice, it doesn't look like there's anything laying in wait for us, though I do see some faint residues of maybe evidence of previous workings. This is definitely the right place.
Mm-hmm.
As I get up to the door, I'll turn and look at Xavier and just go, "Are we knocking or are we just going in?"
Well, it looks as home. We may as well just go in.
What he said.
So Isaac and Amon both
Thanks
walk
for
up.
answering for me, Isaac.
Remember to look out for motion sensors on the inside. Might be an alarm system.
Not gonna matter if we open this door.
Kind of got a point.
It'll set off the alarm anyways. So
Ricky,
we'll know
I can.
immediately.
I definitely have the skills, but you said that you're used to this thing. Did you want to try and pick the lock?
Ricky nods. Do you want to go for this door, or do you want to see if there's a back way in?
I mean, there's a path right there leading around to the back of the house.
Oh, we already saw the path.
Well, yeah,
it's literally right next to the door.
Yeah, the picture is going between the building and the fence.
Would you like me to nip around the back, let you in?
That's up to you.
All right. Ricky shrugs, checks her bag, and using the eyes of the beast to see in the dark, just slips around the back while paying attention to see if there's any hazards around her, and
Quietly,
goes
please.
quietly as she can to check the back door.
You walk round the back quietly. Nothing obstructs your way. And Gordon's garden seems unkept, with long grass spreading around the area. Against the back wall of the house lies a back door.
No camera over it?
Nope.
All right. Ricky just gives a check for the lock, and then if it's locked and she doesn't notice anything that sets off her alarm bells, she will try to pick the lock with the lock picks in her bag.
It is locked tighter than a nun's chastity belt. If you could do for me dexterity and larceny, please. Difficulty 2, because nuns aren't that good at locks.
Two.
The door opens silently and reveals a dilapidated interior. Wallpaper hanging off the walls, exposed floorboards, cobwebs, and a bare lighting fixture.
Still using the eyes of the beast so she can see in the dark, Ricky just first looks for anything hazardous and then kind of makes her way in, looking for anything more dangerous than a spider on her way back to the front door. Maybe like some blinking lights of some kind of alarm system or something.
Nothing stands out to you in a dilapidated house. As you walk through the hallway into the front door, you notice a set of stairs that dominates most of the hall leading upwards. They show signs of neglect, but seem sturdy enough.
And Ricky would let the rest of the coterie in, very quietly. Or as quietly as she can.
No problem.
As soon as the door opens, I just look at Ricky and go, "Nice job, new kid."
Ricky shrugs a bit. Careful, place is, I'm not sure if she lived here or not. And Ricky backs up to let them all in.
So, about as good looking as the rest of the neighborhood?
No, worse.
My
That's
guess is this was just somewhere for her to sleep during the day.
Aye.
What's downstairs, Shiv? The chair with the curtains?
Yes.
Or is that all upstairs? Okay. I would probably just start going around the perimeter of the room, just looking around
Just
for
looks in
anything.
complete disrepair and want and abandonment.
Rhapsody's going to head upstairs.
Ricky takes a glance around and then follows Rhapsody up. Careful, these didn't look great when I glanced at them.
At the top of the stairs are 3 rooms, 2 on your left side and 1 on the right side of the landing. The room on the right side has its door closed, and the 2 on the left have left their doors open. You can see what looks like a bathroom and a bedroom. Both rooms seem completely run down and in the same state as the rest of the house.
Crash pad?
Seems like it. Still got 1 room to look in.
Mm-hmm. How about we have Isaac glance at it first?
Yeah.
Ricky would make her way back down. 3 rooms upstairs. 2 are just shite. 1's locked. Well, maybe locked. It's closed. Wonder if maybe Isaac should take a look at it before we go poking it.
Well, very well. I'll head upstairs and then use Sense the Unseen. I see anything within any of the rooms?
Automatic success.
I guess. Well,
Nothing really stands
Okay.
out. I mean, the door isn't particularly thick to you, and you do remember that you noticed seeing something when you're on the street. So whatever you did see, it must be extremely weak. If there is anything left that's even active in the room.
okay. And while I'm up there, I'll go ahead and check the door to see if it's unlocked and open it.
The door is locked.
I'll go back to the group. I don't really see anything up there. There is some, again, faint residue, the evidence of some workings in the past, but nothing strong or powerful to be worried about. The door is locked, though.
Amon kind of crosses his arms in like a, oh, and I just turn and look at Ricky.
Ricky shrugs with a little bit of grin. All right, I admit, this does make me a little happy. And pulls out her lockpicks, flashes them at Amon, and goes back up the stairs to do her thing with the lock.
I'll actually follow her up and kind of just watch from afar.
Dexterity
I'm
passing.
already up there.
Difficulty 1, please.
Oh, that's easy.
Oh, it's not a nun this time.
Success is 3. Let's use a willpower. And willpower reroll. That's all I click. Willpower reroll. We can reroll 3. There we go.
Nice.
The bedroom door easily clicks open under your skilled hands. Glides open, and inside is a large king-size bed. Though the room is only in a slightly better condition than the rest of the house, it still seems a little bit more run down, with cracks in the ceiling. Still kept fairly clean, though. Laying in a fetal position at the foot of the bed, on the floor, is a man, cringing and wailing.
Ricky takes several
Oh.
steps back and just, with her eyes wide open, just goes, shit, in a hushed hiss of a voice.
Has Xavier followed us upstairs yet?
Yeah, he's lagging behind though. He's letting the detectives figure it out.
I kind of poke my head back out the room and go, well, this was unexpected, at Xavier.
Ricky glances over at Xavier too. We've got somebody alive up here. Well, I mean, maybe they're kindred, but yeah, there's somebody up here.
I'll walk forward and walk in the door, I guess. I'll quietly, obviously quietly approach the guy. Hope I don't scare him.
While he's approaching him,
And
What
kinda
is
crouch.
he saying?
He's just crying. wailing. Not loudly, those sort of sobbing type thing.
I'll crash that next to him. You okay?
Who are you? How did you even get in here? Why do I even care?
You want me to help you up?
Nothing personal, but I just don't care anymore.
Let me
Can
guess.
I,
You were in love and the lady left.
Not exactly. Not exactly.
Not exact.
she make you feel good.
It's again, something like that. Who even are you?
Ricky crouches down next to him, focuses her eyes, and uses Sense of the Beast.
No beast.
Ricky hums, and then says, "Well, my name is Kitty. What's yours?"
Charisma, persuasion. Difficulty 1, please. Against his. So it's not even really
Should I
difficult,
add the
has it?
modifier for beautiful?
Yes.
Shit.
Oh, nice.
Use a willpower.
You can do 3 because that 5 is technically not a success.
Yep. You can use 3.
No more willpower on that.
Roll 20 does not like willpower rerolls, I swear.
He just looks at you and he says, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to exist anymore.
Well,
Things
buddy,
I've
I
been
will-
forced to do.
I
Hey,
will grab him under his armpits here and start to lift him up.
It's kind, of all people here, will know what it feels like when you're trying to do that to a small child who's just doesn't want to be lifted, doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
That's
weight, I
exactly how
understand.
he feels in your hands. He's just like
That's
completely
fine,
given
yeah.
up with nothing left inside of him.
Yeah. Is there like a chair or something I could put him in?
It's
Or
a
on the
bed.
side of a bed? Yeah, I'll sit him in the bed if he falls over or whatever. At least he's on something softer.
He'll just slump
I'm
down,
gonna-
like a
Yeah.
teenager.
Amon kind of shakes his head like, oh, this guy's a lost cause. And I just start looking around the room.
so can I ask you about the woman that this is all about?
Charisma and persuasion.
Because I've got I think it's beautiful or good looking or whatever it is. Where's my sheet?
It's a +1 on the roll if it counts.
Do I get a +1?
Yes.
Oh, we're pretty.
I have to. Charisma persuasion.
Yes.
Sorry.
One.
Damn.
What was it you asked? The woman.
Yeah, about the woman.
He just turns his head to you, and his eyes fill with tears immediately as soon as the word woman leaves your lips. And he says, it was Clarette. I was powerless. I mean, just that accent. Just the accent alone was amazing. And then the things she made me drink her blood. And I was completely enslaved to her. And now she's gone. And it's like no other loss I've ever experienced. I feel as if my very insides have gone with her. She didn't leave me a note. She didn't leave anything. She just went.
You're going through withdrawals, buddy. You'll get over it.
You don't understand.
No, I do.
She made me do things that I never wanted to do, things I never even thought I was capable of doing.
We have felt this way about people before.
Not like this.
What
I
were
kinda-
some of the
I kinda-
things that she
yeah.
got you to do?
Charisma and persuasion.
Xavier is going to step back out of the door and lean against the door frame and just be like, "Oh my god, I hate this part of this."
By the way, I
Meanwhile-
did legitimately want to look around the room when you're done.
Meanwhile, at the way he describes things, Ricky has closed her eyes and clenched up her fist and is kind of in a small shaking ball of rage at the moment.
I would probably take, if I saw that, I would probably take Ricky out towards the door with me.
She wouldn't resist.
She used her body on me. She used not just her blood, she seduced me through a mix of blood, sex, and such unspeakable acts. And then all she needed me to do was go and murder someone. I never thought I'd be capable of such a thing, especially such a sweet young woman. But she had me go to the river, stab someone. And I did it. I didn't even have to think twice about it. What kind of a person am I now? I would take another life just because someone gave me attention like that. And the worst bit is, right now, all I can do is think I want her back.
It's a very specific kind of it.
Ricky has walked over to face the wall opposite the door. She's still listening. And to stop herself from saying anything, she's put her finger into her mouth and bit down on it.
I can understand what you're going through.
Why can you understand,
There
but I
must be.
can't? I don't even know what the things that she was talking about were. And then she had me go and murder this woman, and I don't even know why. The things that the reason, I don't understand what's going on.
I'm
Ricky
just
turns
rifling
about,
through the
stalks
dresser.
back into the room, looks him straight in the eye, and says, "Sir, what we're describing is called rape. And yes, I do understand what that is. Now, if you'll tell us what you wish, for I believe the woman you've met is Ms. Clarette. What would you wish for?"
I put a hand on Ricky's shoulder, and I say, while I get where you're coming from, and you're technically correct, the whole drinking her blood thing made it perfectly okay on his end.
Ricky just growls under her breath at Amon.
What was your question, sorry, Ricky?
What does he wish for Clarette?
Oh, it's fine. I just want her back. I want this
Ricky face.
giant hole in my soul to be filled once more.
Ricky face palm.
Go ahead.
Good.
I just lean into Ricky and I whisper, she ghouled him and he's going through withdrawals now.
Ricky reaches and pinches the bridge of her nose and goes, "I fucking hate the... Oh, fuck all."
Rhapsody,
Yes.
I think it's probably best if we try to figure out where she went.
Yes.
Doctor right now after that, though, to help this poor guy. As much as I could give two fucks about how he feels.
I was just going to say leave him.
Any information we could get would be best. Probably best if you try to ask
Yeah.
him.
You know, Clarette?
It sounds... Unfortunately.
Then
We've run
maybe,
into her a couple of times.
then maybe you know where she went.
Nope.
Do you know where Kana's house is?
Who?
Kana's.
Ricky glances at Isaac.
Do you know where Kana's house is?
Charisma and persuasion.
He melts and wraps in his arms. Sorry.
I don't know. I thought it was some sort of language barrier because of that dreamy, wonderful accent that she had. I just thought, she kept saying she was going to House Kana. I just thought it was a language thing to meet up with her sisters. I didn't even know she had a family. And then some really, I don't even understand what she said after that, but it was weird.
Could you repeat what she said that sounded weird, please, sir?
If you beat him in the charisma and persuasion roll, certainly.
The wrong person asking the question.
Ricky's just having a moment because this goes with one of her convictions.
I mean, out of the people to ask the question, I think Ricky's still better than Xavier.
Xavier's not asking questions.
Yep.
Even Isaac for that.
I know my place.
I'm just sitting around trying to be the de-escalator.
I see Isaac over there like, yeah.
Yeah.
She said she was going to go and
We
meet
know what happened.
with her sisters at Kana's house. Something about Anarch Tremere, White Tower Tremere turning against each other and Kana just being all that's left. What is going on? What does that mean? What does any of this mean? And where is she? Why do I feel like this? Why do I not even feel bad about killing someone I didn't even know?
Hey, bro, have you ever had alcohol?
Of course.
Yeah, have you ever drank so much and then not after about a day or two? You know how shitty you feel?
A hangover?
Yeah, that's what you've got right now.
But I haven't been drinking. I don't even know what's going. What?
Remember
Is
when
this
you
normal?
said she
Why
was,
would that make me not feel anything for killing someone? I murdered an innocent young woman.
Yeah, you probably should turn yourself into that, but that's completely different. It's just the you fell in love, bro, and she left you. Sucks.
That happens like all the time, but this feels like something else. I really feel completely empty inside, like she's taken something that I never even knew I had.
Yeah, she made you kill somebody.
But I don't even feel anything about that.
Ricky bites down on her tongue as he talks about killing without feeling anything, just remembering something herself.
Well, Morea is doing quite well.
Oh God.
I
You've
know you
spoken
said
to
you
her?
don't feel
Where is
anything.
she? You mean I didn't kill her? I didn't kill her?
No.
I stop Isaac before he
Oh.
says anything, and I just put a finger up to my mouth.
Isaac nods. I spoke with a
You wrote what
A
he
medium.
said.
You see, what did you say your name was again, son?
Matthew.
Matthew. Yes, Matthew. Leia is quite dead. However, I'm a medium. I'm sure you've seen us on TV.
Oh, God, it's worse than I thought.
Oh, no, Maria's quite enjoying the next stage.
Yeah, you're going to need
Isaac.
to roll manipulation and persuasion for this, please. Oh, shit. I'm burning a fucking willpower.
You said manipulation and it's not letting me roll manipulation and persuasion. Oh, I see. I have to choose
Persuasion, then
persuasion
manipulation.
first. Yep, I got it.
Yeah, I'm actually not bad with those rolls. I didn't realize that.
It's going to go to you, Isaac. I don't know why, but for some strange reason that makes me feel better. Maybe it's just the fact that you're at least trying to make me feel better. I think this whole medium side that you've got going is complete toss, though. I've seen the programs. Mary loves Dick.
Well, the good news is you feel something.
I'm still rifling through stuff.
I think
in
the
room.
problem-
You just said you felt empty inside. Well, here we are.
Yeah, you're just going through withdrawals. You'll feel better in due
Want to
time.
feel better after murdering someone?
Maybe not about that. Just the whole hole in your heart thing. That part.
Basically, what he. Nah, I should not say that.
Ricky groans and rubs her temples, then looks to Matthew and says, Matthew, we're looking for Clarette. Would it be alright if we took a look around in here?
Won't find anything. Everything's gone. She never kept anything here. Except me.
Did she ever bring you anywhere else?
Why would I want to go anywhere else? She was always here whenever I was here. And then one day, or night really, that was the other weird thing. It was always night. She was just gone.
Do you know how many nights ago?
6 or 7 nights ago, I think. It's hard to keep count. There's no clock, there's no calendar. And to be quite honest with you, the only thing that I care about is her.
Ricky glances
Upon
over
hearing-
at Isaac.
Oh.
You wouldn't need to eat?
Well, I mean, he does need to eat and drink, but what she gives him will sustain him.
Ask!
What?
What?
Why don't you ask him what he's been eating?
What?
Matthew, have you been eating since then?
Kind of.
What have you been eating?
Well, see, I mean, charisma and persuasion.
This is gonna be interesting. Ooh.
Bro.
Do you want me to
Oh,
take
no.
extra long?
Hun?
Oh.
Well, la-ti-da.
How would you like to handle this, Ms. Rhapsody?
I don't know what a BC critical means, so
It's
Something
social
horrible
thing,
happens.
so you should be fine, but yeah.
I think I will.
Basically,
You might
it's
call
a
him.
critical success, but your beast helps.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Okay, I'll go with that. That's fine.
Right. As you ask that question, the beast inside of you comes forth to the surface. Your eyes glow with blood and anger. You intimidate the man so much you can feel the urge to just rip his throat out as he keeps dragging this on, to end his ceaseless wailing and his broken, pitiful heart. Take a humanity stain.
Mm.
The man looks at you, scared shitless. He says, well, she said she would go to places to eat and then come back. And she threw a bowl on the floor she would throw up into. And I ate that.
Ricky swallows hard, glances at Rhapsody, and then grabs her by the wrist and tries to pull her out of the room.
Rhapsody would probably not resist being pulled out of the room.
What have you been eating since Clarette's been gone? That's been what? You said yourself, 5 or 6 days.
Right. I haven't been interested in eating. All I care about is Clarette and where she's coming back.
Outside of the
You go, Rhapsody. Oh, Ricky.
outside of the room, Ricky just kind of takes Rhapsody aside and hisses in Rhapsody's ear, hopefully low enough that Matthew can't hear. I know I'm doing poorly. Are you fucking all right? And what the hell was that?
But at this point, I think we've gotten all we're going to get.
Okay, what?
You get rid of the loose end.
What do we do with it?
Isaac would have to cycle.
Since they've left the room and there's nobody else in there that's good at talking, I gave up looking
Some
through
of us
the
are
dresser
good
or whatever.
feed when we do it.
Right, exactly, which is what I'm about to have to do. I
got your back, bro.
I had given up like searching through that dresser that's in there as soon as he said that there's nothing here, and I kind of just turn around and I sit on it, and I go, well, right now we're really interested in finding where Clarette went, and
Me too. I'll come with you. I'll help you. We'll find her.
wait, hold on, for that. And just in a casual, like, this is what I do when I need something to do. I pull one of my daggers out and I'm just spinning it around my finger or whatever. I go, any information that you have at all that you haven't already told us would be really integral to our search.
He thinks. He stands up. The tears in his eyes are completely dried. He lifts a finger, as if to say, there's one thing that might be really useful. And at that point, bubbles start to appear all over his skin, his face, bubbling up, bubbling down. He starts screaming uncontrollably as more and more bubbles quickly rise, go down, and suddenly he explodes, spattering blood all over the entire room and anyone who was left in the room with him.
Yeah, I did that move that.
Doorway, I shielded myself.
Yeah, I did that thing that Tina just did, where I just throw my arm up over my face. I immediately stand up, frustrated, shaking my arms to try and get the shit off me. And I'm just gonna go, well, that's a new one. I assume it was an audible, like, not the explosion audible, but you heard
I
a
tried
pop
to find
noise.
a really good sound effect for it, direct from Bloodlines, but all the ones that I could find were not suitable. But just imagine lots of boiling water and then this very squelchy explosion.
Could it?
You could have
potentially
used
have been-
the custard explosion that we have.
Yeah, I was tempted.
Could that potentially have been loud enough to be heard in the other nearby houses?
Not really.
Okay.
It's like
Not
a.
that loud of an explosion. Yeah.
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 Yeah. But first paranoid concern masquerade.
I was
problem.
mainly asking to make sure that the people that weren't in the room could go, "Oh, I heard that."
Isaac would try to like clean his
not a
mouth
gunshot.
and like flick off some of the blood and gore, and he'd be like, "Well, Amon, that was not me."
Thanks. I appreciate the clarification.
You know, I got to give it to the girls. They got the fuck out at the right time. But Jesus, man.
Ricky,
Steve.
I'll
Right,
yell
Stuart.
in the hallway. Don't come back in here if you left after what he just told you.
Okay, nope. I will not come back in then.
You
Ricky-
see Amon walk out of the room covered in blood and chunks.
Isaac would
I was,
follow
like,
behind
right at-
Amon.
I was like at the epicenter. I was probably right in front of him.
What
It's like-
what did Isaac do?
No,
It
no,
wasn't
Isaac
Isaac.
can do it.
I think
Exploded.
I think our friend Clarette left us a present.
Whoever came in.
Ricky groans, kind of falls to the floor, and then just points a hand at the bathroom.
That's
Probably going-
that. I might be wrong, but it seems like a blood sorcery thing. Buried
Mhm.
Tremere, also Banu Akeem.
Isaac would nod. Indeed, it looks like blood sorcery.
Well, I mean, at least now we don't have to call Pandora or something to come deal with the potential masquerade breach of a de-ghouling ghoul, but now I have
No,
to deal with him.
he just
And I'm
Kayla us
just
though.
I'm just wiping shit off of me.
Caleb?
Yeah, he just Kayla us. Kalo at the end of his letter said, "Oh, I know who the Ripper is," and then there were blood smidges, and this guy just said, "Oh, there's one bit of piece of important information," and it exploded.
How it always goes.
Yeah. Do we need to tell anybody about this, or do we just leave this for the police to find later on?
Probably should tell somebody.
Should we though?
Can I go? I know this house is absolutely dilapidated, but can I go in the bathroom and see if there's any running water at all?
There'll be running water, yeah.
Is it
Ricky
dirty
was,
looking?
why Ricky was pointing there.
No.
Okay. I'm literally just gonna like hose myself off in like the shower or something. I'd rather be wet than covered in goo.
We should probably tell someone just to clean it up so that, you know, if police come, they don't see an exploded person in the middle of a house. That would be a bit suspicious.
Of
But,
course, it's fucking suspicious. But he also killed somebody, so his blood may be able to link it back to that. I mean, yeah.
Wait. Do we need a sample then, Xavier? And
What do
wouldn't we need to...
We're not the cops.
Oh, never
Yeah,
mind.
and any information that Cedra or the doctor could get from his blood, he kind of just told us.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, as far as the police, this is what they do. Yeah, it sucks. Don't get me wrong, but
What about that thing Cedra did when Amon kind of... You know that thing at the bar. When she
What
called
about
the
it?
cleanup? Is that what we do here? Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could, but are you? I look at Rhapsody. Is this a masquerade breach? I don't need you running to Pandora.
Ricky frowned at that.
I don't know whether this
Also-
would be a masquerade breach because we are in a
It is.
dilapidated house, but
I think it would be fair to say Rhapsody would know this be pretty hard to link back to the masquerade. I mean, it's a bloody
Okay.
smear and all that sort of thing, but there's
Yeah.
no evidence of being it of a supernatural origin.
He exploded. We didn't do anything.
so
I say
yeah,
we get the scout.
You hear
well-
the. Go ahead.
let's wash you three off and then get out of here.
You
Quick
hear
note,
the shower.
remember kids, even Kindred wash their fucking hands. Wash your fucking hands, there's a pandemic.
You
Wear
hear
a fucking
the
mask.
shower turn off, and I will blink out into the hallway where everybody's standing at. I think that might be a rouse check. I'll check.
I'll let you have that for free.
Okay. And I'll just look at Xavier, and I'll look at Isaac first because he was closer than Xavier was. I was like, shower works.
Oh, that's great, Mom. Thank you. And Isaac would stroll past him and pat him on the shoulder with his bloody head and then go into the shower.
Ricky gets up to head downstairs and just.
Clean himself off.
Can we just say everybody gets clean? Okay. God.
While Isaac's in the shower, I'm just like at the sink trying to get the bloody handprint that Isaac just left off.
While the boys are cleaning up, Ricky gets up and just says over towards the bathroom, I'm just going to go downstairs, take a look out the door, make sure we can get out without being seen. And she heads downstairs to just kind of glance out if like there's a peephole or something at the downstairs door. Front door.
No peephole.
There's a window.
Oh, glance out the window
There's a
then.
window.
Glance out the window. Just look for lights, any just, people happening to walk around.
All seems
And then
the
she's
same.
just And then she's just going to chill out and lean against near the door and wait for them.
Rhapsody will do the same.
What's Xavier doing right now?
Just watching everybody. That's kind of been his thing today.
He gets a phone call.
Wonderful.
It's from Steve.
Oh shit. What?
That was
All right.
unexpected.
I answer the phone. That is unexpected for me. I answer the phone. Yeah.
Sup, Xavier? Remember you had me scrub those records for you?
Yeah.
Well, we just had some woman come into the station, same surname, reporting her daughter had gone missing. She was saying her husband's gone missing too. Now her daughter's gone. This isn't going to come back on me, is it? The guy that's doing, the guy who did this for isn't going to do anything stupid like take his daughter back, is he? That hasn't happened, has it?
Nope, he wouldn't do that, but we're sure as fuck gonna get her back. Thanks, Steve. And I'll hang up
Right.
the phone real quick. And if a vampire could get any more ghostly, Xavier does and looks at Amon and doesn't say anything.
I go, what?
We need to talk, and I'll start to walk downstairs.
I kind of just look around unexpectedly and go, okay. And I walk downstairs as well.
As soon as I think we're out of earshot of anybody, I'll say, Steve just called me. Your wife went to the police department. Your kid's missing.
My kid.
Yeah, you're. I can't laugh here. Yes, your child, your daughter.
What are you talking about?
You have a kid. Oh my god.
What? What's going on?
Do you remember you had a wife?
Yes.
You don't remember you had a kid?
No, this is news to me.
Well, this is fucking fun. All right, well, back upstairs you go. I'll talk to Cedar about this.
But well, hold on a second. What? This isn't just news that you drop on somebody and just go, "Oh, we'll talk about it later."
Well, no, because you don't believe me, so I'm not. There's no reason to go into it. I got no other more info than that. So dwell on it overnight. You figure it out if you want to believe you got a kid or not, because I can't make you.
Well, I mean, you've helped me save my life in the past, so I don't feel like this is something you would just make up out of the blue.
No, not at all. Yeah, you got a kid. We probably should figure out why you don't remember you don't have a kid. That's scary.
It is.
Can we both just agree that we need to find this fucking kid?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, okay, just theoretically for right now. You have a wife.
Yeah.
Her kid's missing. We need to find the kid for her. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. I don't, I hate to say this, we're probably going to have to break into your old house to see if we can figure out what the fuck happened.
It's easy.
Sure, except for your wife thinks you died and disappeared.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that my house is really easy to get into. I have a postern like you do at your place.
Okay, yeah, I'm just, person living there, they wake up and see you, that's a whole nother clusterfuck I gotta fix, so.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to say I was going to do it, because I'm not Mr. Silence of Death.
I just want to tell you away from the girls, one of them freaks out a little bit at the slightest mention of anything that's domestic.
I sigh very loudly as soon as he makes that point. And I go, yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's appreciated.
So,
I
would suggest keep this info to yourself. We can figure it out later, but
yeah,
this is fun. And I'll walk back upstairs.
You just hear like it fade out as you walk up. You just hear him mumbling, "I don't like your definition of fun." Amon actually stays downstairs. He doesn't come back up.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think we'd probably be done upstairs. I mean, Isaac would definitely be done just rinsing off. So he'd come one down the stairs.
You guys need any more time here, or can we head out?
Ricky shakes her head very rapidly. Go on, Isaac.
Shakes it this way rapidly or
Yes.
this way rapidly? This way rapidly. Oh, okay.
No, I have no reason to stay here.
Yes, this house is in a state of disrepair. The individual already told us there's nothing here except for he was here. So I believe we are done here, Xavier.
It's also fucking ugly as shit.
I could have closed that case for them on the phone call. Fuck, I'll call them later.
You might find a blood smear at 15A. Just want to let you know it wasn't me.
Everyone heading to their individual vehicles.
Well,
Same vehicles, yeah.
As everybody comes downstairs, you kind of just see Amon standing in the middle of probably that big empty room. And he's kind of just like looking very, I mean, as puzzled as a man in a mask can look. But he almost looks like he's like counting things on his fingers, like, because I'm not quite sure how the memory erasure works. Because I know every memory with the child is erased, but I imagine if there were memories of like the wife and the child, the child kind of just disappears from the memory, but it would
he
probably
have
still seem
memory
kind of weird.
of his wife pregnant? Child isn't born yet.
But if it was like if it was like a memory of like wife and kid at the park or something like that, that would
So
be gone
he's
too.
missing actual
Wow, okay.
time in his memories then.
Would picture it as, even if you do remember some of these things, like why was my wife and I at the park at the playground? That seems a bit weird. That you would
Yeah,
rationalize it away because it doesn't fit in
Ah.
with the rest of your life narratives.
Gotcha.
No, I must be confused. That never really happened.
Okay. So yeah, no, I'm just sitting there like it looks like I'm counting stuff on my fingers.
I forgot about that was brought up. That was great.
Ricky glances up at Amon acting oddly, and then over to Xavier. Are we headed back home, or? And she just kind of leaves it as a question.
Do you have somewhere you want to go?
Nope.
Guess we're
Away
headed
from
back to
here.
the
That's
Coterie,
where I
don't
want
we?
to go.
Sure. We can go back to the Coterie domain. Yeah. Nothing else here. I mean,
Everyone heading back to
That
either their
sounds.
collective or shared or
Yep.
individual car kind of thing.
Somebody will probably have to shout at me as they're going through the door.
I
blast.
would grab you. I'm
Yeah.
the one that put you in this
Yeah.
position. I would grab you.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna leave you. It's like your friend
I'm
come
just
up.
saying, like,
Hey, your wife
yeah.
died. You want a beer?
Anyone want to discuss anything on their drive?
Amon, Xavier. That was quite interesting. I was not expecting, what was his name? Matthew to, explode.
Were you expecting him to straight up call out your clan?
My clan?
House Karna?
I'm not a member of House Karna.
Isn't that somebody you associate with?
No, I believe when we told that a House Karna is a house of, oh, what's the term? See, Tremere?
You're right.
Is that what the kids say?
As soon
right.
as you say kid, I'm like, huh? What? What's going on?
This
I
ties
just
back in.
know that. I
Go
just
ahead.
know that House Karna is a house of Tremere, and well, it's a female only house, and you see how they treat that ghoul. I believe they would prefer to treat everyone like that.
Do you remember the basement we went to where we saw the map and I was going to shoot the wall? Remember that?
Yes,
There was the seal on the wall.
the Tremere seal.
Yes. The twins he referred to, their names are brought up for that. Their names have been brought up for all kinds of stuff. The doctor talks about them quite a bit. Etheldred and Arendred.
Right, but aren't they aligned with the Camarilla?
Maybe. Probably not. Wouldn't be the
Wouldn't
first
know
time. I mean, people switch times all the time. I mean, switch sides. Like, look at the Nosferatu.
That is a good point.
This also doesn't seem like it's a Camarilla or Anarch thing, what you just described maybe this is more of a way of life instead of a belief that they were dragged into as women of Tremere.
That's true. All these different Tremere houses, they're all usurpers.
Don't you start using that phrase too?
That's our phrase, man. Only we can say it.
Xavier's never said it. Well, yeah, that's going to be interesting. And you know, we don't know where the doctor's at. This is absolutely something he probably would be interested in, and have more info in. I'm wondering if we need to go talk to Buren.
Well, I believe didn't Bjorn say everyone should steer clear of this matter because it's a Tremere matter.
The war is a Tremere matter. This side gig that tied into something else we were investigating already might tie into the war, but is not a war matter.
And once it comes to light that this is Tremere related, I would think he'd like us to report that to him.
I mean, if he asks us to investigate it, we can say no. And chances are he won't ask us because he didn't want people to interfere, but I'm sure he would appreciate any info.
I agree. That's a good call, Xavier.
But is Buren the one to talk to? How often we went with the doctor to this chantry and Buren's not there?
I suppose we could talk with whichever representative we've spoken to before. We've spoken to at least one or two people at the chantry, haven't we?
I don't think we have freely spoken to anybody except Buren.
Normally, the doctor's always with us. Sometimes we wait outside, but sometimes we're there.
Yeah, Buren and Mark Nelson are the only two Tremere I've spoken to.
Indeed. The only two I'm familiar with, firsthand at least.
Hey, Amon.
Yeah.
You got any thoughts on this? Because I wouldn't even know how to begin to try to get entry into the Tremere Chantry to talk to anybody.
I'm not really sure. The Mark Nelson, I don't really think likes me all that much. So,
who was he again?
He was the, oh yeah, you weren't there for that. He was the one that asked us to go check out that abandoned Second Inquisition site, but he was the guy that tried to get me to join the Tremere, and he didn't like my answer.
I really just want to avoid calling Pandora. Like, I really don't want to call her.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, what exactly? I'm sorry, I really wasn't listening to the conversation. What are we trying to get into the Tremere Chantry for?
Just let them know of what just transpired and the info that we were given about House Carnos, Clarette.
I mean, if we go to them and just say that, I feel like they'd be pretty receptive.
We can try. Also, how did Harry die to that guy? He didn't die to that guy. Ignore me. Sorry, a lot of people have popped up dead the last 10 minutes.
You're telling me.
Meanwhile, in Ricky and Rhapsody's vehicle.
The Armobile.
Gave us fucking nothing useful. Sad sack of shit. Rhapsody then reaches over, grabs a CD out, and puts on Maiden Pile, Seeking Those Obscured. Now, if you can get what that is a reference to, have fun.
Ricky, while Rhapsody was grumbling, was kind of staring or just sitting hunched over with her, pinching the bridge of her nose and just shaking her head. Just about to look over to ask Rhapsody something. Sees her grab the CD and instead says, "No talking now. Just singing to ridiculous music."
But yeah, I think singing would be best. Just
We'll talk later.
de-stress. We're both angry.
I
Both
know.
not
As
in
I
the
am
right
to say,
place.
let's hear how that singing will go. Where are you heading? The collective.
They were told Coterie Haven, so they're going there.
Rhapsody's car will be driving to the Coterie Haven.
I guess that's where I'm driving to.
Okay. Pull up in the car park for your newly refurbished, fabulous Coterie Haven.
Ricky gets out.
Okay. Good.
Ricky gets out, makes her way into the Haven, goes straight down to the new office, whatever it is. Finds herself a spot next to the wall, and just kind of sits down on the floor, with her arms curled up around her knees, just kind of not looking at anyone for the moment.
I go back to my booth and I start angrily throwing darts.
Rhapsody goes and sits next to Ricky.
And when I say angrily, I mean with because it's the downstairs bar and no one can see me doing this other than the coterie, I'm supernaturally teleporting them, with as hard as I can throw them across to the thing.
You're
Isaac,
also going to
you
use
need to-
unerring.
What?
Isaac, do you need a moment to let your I don't know, anger, distress, sadness out? Everybody else is.
Oh no, there is a time and place.
I'm glad we're on the
And,
same page.
Indeed. Now that we're all here, I believe what we discussed in the car, Xavier brought up a good point on our way here. We should probably speak with the Camarilla Tremere, Mark Nelson, or Bjorn regarding this. If we can get an audience with Bjorn, that would be preferred. The information.
So you all want to get.
Go ahead.
So you all want to get so you lot want to get in a land war with Asia. Got it.
Is that what you heard out of what he just said? Because that's not what he just said.
Said you want to go and talk to them about it. I'd probably just leave well enough alone for now.
Well, you see, this individual Clarette had asked us to find her lost friend Monique. We discovered Monique doesn't exist, and then we went to confront Clarette about it and discovered she had fled town and abandoned a ghoul, and that ghoul informed us she was House Karna. Upon learning this information, we felt it relevant to inform Bjorn and Clan Tremere.
Doesn't involve us with any war.
Are you guys out in the bar or are you in the office?
We're downstairs in the office.
The lounge area, I imagine.
We're
I'm
in
just
the office.
asking to see if I'm if I'm able to hear this or not.
You can hear it.
Yeah, we're not after one after another, angrily throwing darts. We don't want to join the war. We want to inform the side we're with.
Yeah.
Ricky groans, holds up, puts her hand down, shakes her head. All right. First question. Karna. That came up when, what was his name? Daniel Davis. You still have the diary, don't you, Xavier?
Yeah, what about it?
Just, he called Clarette that Karna woman. Or we think it was Clarette. It would make sense if it was Clarette.
Okay, go on.
All right. Matthew said that something about House Karna and the Anarchs and the Ivory Tower, and that's the Camarilla, and Karna coming out on top in the end. So Karna is a third faction that Bjorn did not mention before. Could Karna be in... Oh, fuck off. So, would it make sense if Clarette is intentionally trying to start a war between the Anarch and Camarilla Tremere, and we just kind of stumbled?
I don't think that's what's happening.
Well, she had us kill Daniel Davis. That seemed to be what Bjorn was mentioning was part of the impetus to start the war between the Anarchs and the Camarilla Tremere. We are obviously not the Anarch Tremere, no matter what the official story says.
That's a way to look at it. To me, it was she was done with us. Go do this. We didn't kill a kindred. We went and killed a kindred's ghoul. Go do this. Now all the heat's on you. I can slip away. This has nothing to do with tying it into anything else, in my opinion. I think she was done with it and was trying to separate herself from us so she could slip away.
All right. Very, very possible. Especially if, say, the comment to Matthew was about House Karna coming out on top, however he put it, was a throwaway comment. It could have been. He was... All right, I don't even want to fucking talk about that. She might have just said shit around him. Or
so
maybe...
do you all need a tie-in on how this affects the Camarilla Tremere? Is that the issue here?
I'm just coming to the point of saying, it sounds to me like House Karna is not part of the war that we were warned not to get involved in, so I agree. Yes, especially if, say, maybe it would be nice if the Camarilla Tremere looked highly upon us, that yes, perhaps we should reach out to a... I don't know who the appropriate person to talk to, but someone within the Camarilla Tremere. I agree. And then Bricky sits herself back down again and folds her arms.
Isaac would nod, and he would step forward. I think he's. I agree with your theory, Ricky. It seems awfully convenient if the Anarch clan Epissimus and the Tremere clan, when the Tremere Camarilla clan go to war, it would seem very advantageous House Karna to orchestrate that. She clearly sent us knowingly to kill a ghoul that belonged to a senior member of House Tremere, yet the fall and blame of that ghoul's death fell to the Anarch Tremere house, not necessarily that third faction of House Karna. I think House Karna is trying to orchestrate things to have their two Tremere competitions, rival Tremere houses, to fight themselves, weaken themselves.
I want to make something very clear right now about this war. This so-called war the Tremere have started revolves around a member of our coterie. And to be quite honest, I give no flying fucks about how you feel. I'm not looking at anybody in particular. But if any of this situation points to any involvement with the doctor, we are indirectly responsible for that. And it's absolutely on us to give any information, especially if it ties into the two twins that the doctor has been investigating, that are also pretty high on the totem pole, if I understand it correctly. We literally ended up in a basement of a house that pointed, I don't know how many fingers at one of them doing crazy shit. So if you're worried about it involving you in a war, there's the door. Because nobody's fucking agreed to do anything to join a war. And if you're that fucking worried about it, you don't have to go there. But I just want to make it very fucking clear that if our choices are to do something to save the doctor and not do it, we're doing it. He's a member of our group.
Absolutely. I mean, is vital to give Clan Tremere. We do need to work at our very best to the doctor back. I just think we need to be cognizant that I believe Karna is playing a larger role in this war, which is something that can find a way to enlighten Clan Tremere without necessarily implementing ourselves, we need to do.
All right. Again, go ahead, Mom.
Between you just hear the throws getting more grunts in them as I just listen to you guys go back and forth. As much as I agree with you, Xavier, in thinking that this probably wasn't to use us to start a war, there's also there's no implication that it wasn't, other than it was coincidental. So yes, I agree that no matter what, we might end up getting dragged into this thing, which I know not everybody here wants to do. Not speaking for myself. But yeah, the doc is part of the coterie. We gotta go get him back or something. Especially if some of the Tremere come to us and say we're the ones that have to do it because they for some reason can't. But also, I personally believe that, yeah, you're right. She sent us away on an errand to get us distracted so she could run away. But I also think that it was an errand in that we did exactly what she wanted us to do. We just didn't get blamed for it like she probably was hoping.
No, she also probably didn't suspect a goofy-ass Malkavian to find out she left.
True. That's exactly true. But either way, she tried to use us to start a war. And I'm not honestly for that. So if we save the doctor, yay. I'm looking forward to it. But also I want to get down to this whole Clarette thing and maybe deal with her somehow.
I'd hate to get hung up on the name Clarette when we come to find out she's low man on the fucking totem pole.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Ricky shakes her head again, rubs her temples, and just says, all right, just 2 questions. 1, are we reaching out to the Tremere tonight? And 2, what information are we sharing and what are we not sharing? I'm thinking particularly of how they do not know we were the ones there when Daniel Davis died.
They
So-
don't. They know that we're not the ones that were there because Pandora covered for us.
That's what I mean. So
Did somebody
it worked
explicitly
to
say
me.
that?
What?
I didn't hear that today. I didn't hear that anybody covered for us.
Pandora was the only one who are out of character still. Pandora was the one that Xavier called, and Pandora kind of lectured Xavier just very briefly. So
So
she
I
did
remember.
know.
I remember
Right.
today.
So,
I didn't ask about what happened last week. Yeah.
Oh wait. So yeah, actually, we don't technically know whether or not she did, but
Okay. Yeah.
we kind of almost got the impression that it would make sense if she did.
Yeah, because we were like, "Hey, dead body," and then all of a
So at
sudden,
the same time, Pandora said to Ricky and Rhapsody, "I don't know what you're talking about," but that could have been a just don't fucking talk
yeah, hey,
about this.
shut up. Yeah. It
It
just
would make
seems
sense
very
to me that
Pandora.
that was a just shut the fuck up and don't talk about this. But at any rate,
But
they
yeah,
don't.
go ahead.
Okay, good.
And to answer your question is, to answer your first question, no, because I think we should better prepare ourselves. And if Cedra shows up next week, she's absolutely somebody we need involved in this. The answer to your second question, we're not going to tell anybody anything that they're not supposed to fucking know. So regarding Daniel Davis, if nobody else knows about it, nobody else is getting fucking told about it.
So
We can talk
only
about
about.
So-
Go on. Sorry.
Go ahead, Isaac.
On this topic, it may be advantageous to briefly speak with Pandora to understand what she reported. Because based on what Bjorn knows, if Bjorn is aware that we were involved but didn't want to insinuate that we were involved, what we could, if he knows, we can answer honestly. If he doesn't know, then, and we may need Rhapsody's help on this, we could tell him a small lie and inform him that the ghoul admitted to killing the ghoul.
Yeah, let me say it this way.
Um,
Just like before when you asked, what if Pandora asks us this thing? I mean, Christ almighty, all of us have been around when all this has happened. You know what the fuck happened. If somebody asks you something, you tell them what you think they need to know. If you don't feel confident enough speaking up for yourself and for the coterie, don't.
Xavier.
Don't just be like, hey, they asked me, I got to answer. Just don't. But most
Xavier.
people aren't going to inquire.
Xavier, remember last week we specifically had a conversation and a loud fight in which you made it very clear that everybody needed to get their story and their facts straight and that no one knew about the diary in your possession. So yeah, I touched base with my coterie before we got into any conversations.
Nobody knew about the diary?
You said to not tell anyone about it.
Oh, Cedra said that. I agreed with it. But yeah, that's a specific thing. You already knew about that also. So don't tell her about it.
Would you like me to just do whatever the fuck I please and not check in with you? Because I was under the impression you prefer if I check in with you before I do shit.
Oh, okay. I mean that's fine. I'm not your caretaker. We are a coterie here. Everybody else, you can ask
Well,
them.
that's what I mean. We are, I don't. Okay, I don't always fucking get what we are. I'm just kind of been along for the ride, but yeah, I kind of figure if I feel like, maybe I should check in first before I do anything foolish. I just will check in. I guess maybe I shouldn't do that.
The silence is broken by a shudugugugug because I've run out of darts and I'm using my throwing knives now.
Amon, and to your earlier statement about how we're lucky that we didn't get caught and Clarette wanted us to get caught for that, I'm not so sure. I think perhaps it was Clarette's intention for the Anarch Tremere to take the fall for our actions. I think it went exactly to her plan.
Oh.
I believe she is inciting this war.
Wait.
Either way, she used us and I don't like it. There's another knife in the wall.
Maybe Pandora doesn't know.
I think Pandora knows because we called her to take care of the body.
She knows that of what happened, but I don't think she knows why it was spun in the way it was.
Exactly.
And I don't.
We didn't leave
I scarcely care whether she does or not.
I think we should just all assume that nobody knows and keep our mouths shut about it.
Yeah, Ed, Ricky, if you absolutely care and this is the way you work and you want to know who you should be going to, we registered this coterie and they asked us on who was leading it. We have a leader of this coterie.
And that is?
Cedra.
Oh. And when Cedra's not here?
Ask someone else. I mean, I'm willing to help, but you don't feel like you have to come to me. If you feel like you need to go to somebody of importance to, I don't know who's up there for you. Go to Cedra. She has been appointed to be the one to if we need somebody to speak up for our coterie, she's the one that's going to do it.
All right. I just been kind of checking with you because you seem to get upset the most when things don't go right.
I get it. Okay. Yeah. I cannot respond to you in a way that is nice. So I just want you to understand that. If it's not clear to you why I get upset, then that's something we'll have to work on. I will try to get upset with you less.
David, just knowing that Cedra is technically in the lead helps, but yes, I had been going under the assumption you and Cedra co-led because of how you seem to respond to things.
Yeah, we agree on a lot of things.
Cedra's like technically the one.
Being that guy over there, and I point to him on.
Cedra is technically the leader, which I actually didn't know. That's new. But she does like running this place as a group rather than a monarchy. She doesn't treat herself as the one in charge, even though she technically is. We're a coterie, which means we're a group that talk to each other. We get things done. Yes, someone's technically in charge, but that doesn't automatically mean that they're better than everybody else.
All right.
And at this point, it's near the end of the night. Does anyone want to do any last minute things or say any last minute bits?
I go and just start taking all the knives out of the wall around the dartboard.
When I get back to my haven or whatever, I'll retext Steve and just tell him to keep me updated with the investigation on the missing child search.
Righto.
And then retext Ron Chi to just check in on how it's going.
Reps is just going to head back to her haven.
Oh. Ricky was going to ask Rhapsody something.
Oh, okay. Ricky?
You got a spare room?
Believe I do.
Mind if I crash for the night? I'm angrier than usual.
You can absolutely crash at my place, Ricky.
Well, day, but thanks.
Okie dokie. We'll call that the end of the night there, and we'll be back Friday
Wednesday.
in your time zone, probably.
For London's burning, yeah, we'll be back Friday.
And then the day after that, we've got Star Trek Adventures.
But there's always burning questions on Wednesday.
And there's Burning Questions on Wednesday.
And we're doing a little fun stream thing with just a few of us playing that new game Grounded on Thursday. That'll be fun. I'll be the one streaming, and I'll also be the one screaming because that game has giant spiders in it, and I don't like spiders.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be on here or Nitro's channel?
Here. Mm-hmm.
Don't worry.
Yeah, other than that, yeah, the Star Trek's returning on the 22nd. Everything's always 23:30 UTC.
Don't worry. Lovely. Jesus Christ. I've got a feast here. Some small bits as well. I mentioned the other day in Burning Questions, Dark Scarlet, Lady Dark Scarlet on Twitter. You can also contact her on Instagram for some artworks. She does some really neat, cool artwork for D&D, VTM, whatever you so like. Aurora Sanguine. Give her a follow on Patreon. She's great she has a massive creative mind and talent. Give her a follow on Patreon at a certain tier. She will help you design settings, characters. You will soon be able to see some of her work. Anyone else got anything?
Thursday is Grounded, right?
Yes.
Thursday. Yep.
We will go a raiding on Gehenna.
Nice.
It looks like they're playing something. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you in 6 days. Well, way less than that.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.